Welcome, everyone, to the All Around Podcast. This is episode 6, March 9th, 2017. I am Nick, as always, and with me is the wonderful, lovable, always carefree guy, Jeremy.
Hello.
So, Jeremy, what do we have in store today?
A lot.
Yeah.
There's a lot. This is the biggest list we've had so far.
Yes. This is by far the most subjects that we've, I think, ever at least had to talk about.
Yes.
But, we have to tackle the biggest thing.
Yes.
So we've been building up now since episode 1. We've done 36 speculations, and now is our time to celebrate.
There's a big smile on my face for everybody that can't see us.
The Nintendo Switch is out.
Yes.
And it's a thing.
It's pretty damn great.
It's like right now. So I'm gonna give my 5 second. I'm giving it right now. I'm giving it a 7 out of 10. Right now.
Sure.
Right now, I'm giving it a 7 out of 10. Because here's the thing.
Not everything's out right now.
Nothing's out.
Yeah.
Let's just be really honest. Nothing is out. We have Zelda, which, we'll talk about in a minute.
Yeah, we'll definitely talk about Zelda.
We gotta talk about Zelda. But just the Switch as a whole right now. So, I love the Joy-Cons.
Yes,
the movement
fantastic.
in them, the way that it's even set for calibration, the motion controls and how accurate it is really good.
Yes.
I would love to see a Wii Sports game on it, an actual Wii Sports game on it. I think that'd be super great. Or
definitely
Switch Sports or Sports Switch Up Your Sports. I don't know what they would call it, but that's what I want. I think that'd be so cool. The handheld mode, the graphics look way better than what I thought they would.
Yes. Oh, absolutely.
Out of the gate, they were talking about how the graphic quality was going to be so much lower, and I was like, eh. But no, it really does go well. The battery life is pretty solid.
The battery life on the controllers is amazing.
Yes.
I played for 11 hours on Monday, and by the time I went to charge the controllers, it still said they had a full charge.
I was just going to say, now, I haven't taken it, out and about.
Yeah, I haven't either.
But I have, in my own home, I'm, watching Netflix, and I have it, and I have the tablet on tablet mode. And, yeah, it's never... in my Breath of Wild 8-hour binge sessions, I've never had to stop playing yet to charge everything. So already, yeah, that's a major plus for me. But yeah, that's the main thing. I mean, we brought up a lot of concerns that are still kind of there. I mean, the eShop is technically up, but
it's very small.
Extremely limited. They just even added a couple games today.
Yeah, they added Metal Slug 3, King of Fighters 98, I think is what it was. A couple other indie titles.
Yeah, a bunch of kind of old arcade stuff, which is cool.
Yeah,
I think that's
definitely.
Cool. But yeah, I want them. I want the virtual console there.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
And that'll come in due time.
Yes.
Netflix will come in due time.
Yep.
The live streaming stuff will come in due time.
Yeah, all that stuff.
But they definitely needed to get the console out now because with how many shortages there are, the fact that retailers don't have them, the fact that it's prime time to get a console out.
True.
I mean, why not?
I don't know. Here, the only thing I have a problem with, though, is, because here's the thing. We have 4 games out, and, Mario Kart 8, which is, usually you put out a Nintendo console with some type of Mario, and you gotta think it's March, yeah, they scoped it out and they picked that, but it's couldn't they have just waited till April 28th?
They could have.
What would have really been the difference? Competition-wise.
Not a whole lot competition-wise, but preparedness. Because they want this thing to be mobile. They want you to be able to take it places. So, if they get them out to consumers, the sooner the better. Because if there's any flukes, if there's any flaws, they can fix them for the second wave of them that they make.
That is
in
true.
time for the summer. If we put it out at April 28th, people are already going to be outside playing with this thing.
But I will say this, though. Xbox and PlayStation, and they are different, but I feel like we need to compare them. It's just that weird thing of there's so when they first fucking came out, there was so many more systems.
Yes.
Yes, you still had to wait in line.
Yep.
And make sure you got one. It wasn't like you could just walk in anywhere.
Right.
But Jesus Christ,
well, I mean, Nintendo's been infamous for this.
But that's
remember the Wii?
Exactly. And that's what I'm saying. Like, that's where, like I said, I'm not surprised at what's happening. I'm just disappointed that they've done this now so many times and haven't learned anything from it, I feel like.
Yeah.
Because here's the thing. They could still do a portion of what they're doing, but you could easily double. And, like, because here's the thing. Nintendo should be putting out, like, realistically, 5 times the amount of consoles that I'm seeing in stores.
Oh, absolutely.
To make it really accessible and make it, like, you know... All I'm saying is, if Nintendo still wants to be, like, you know, withhold a little bit, then just double your current numbers.
Yeah.
That already, you know, doubles your market, and still, there's going to be a lot of people still trying to fight for one.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
But it's way more accessible, and I think that's just the problem I've been having with Nintendo as a whole. Like, I understand that marketing strategy to a point, but it should not be like how diligent we hunt for certain pops.
Yes.
To get a console.
Yeah.
And it, like, if it was like a limited edition, like, Zelda bundle or something, then I would get it. But it's not. It's just the bare it's not even a bundle.
Yeah, it's not a bundle.
The console.
It's just the console.
It's just the console.
In their defense, it is the first console that they've ever made that is not region locked.
Yeah.
So distributing it over the world is
different.
It's different for them. It's difficult for them.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, I mean, Nintendo's based in Japan. Yes, there's Nintendo of America and Nintendo of Europe.
Mm-hmm.
Nintendo is based in Japan, so they're gonna want to do their home country first.
Yes,
and that's where their biggest market is. So over here, it's really difficult to get the Switch right now.
Yeah.
If you don't already have one.
Oh, no,
over there,
course,
it's probably not that hard.
Yeah.
I mean, they probably have at least a little bit more of a stock than we do.
Yeah,
but it's also
definitely
easier and quicker to get them out.
Exactly.
Because if they're going to ship them to North America, they're not going to ship 1,000 at a time.
Yeah.
They're going to ship 100,000 at a time. So they want to make them to get them out. So
crazy.
And it's also, this is going to be a lot easier, which is why I don't see stocks being a problem soon.
Mm-hmm.
I also, don't think that this was nearly as expected with how quickly it sold out in Nintendo's perspective, based off of their other launches, where the 64 didn't sell out crazy, the Wii U didn't sell out crazy, the GameCube didn't sell out crazy, the Wii did,
the Wii
and the NES Classic did.
Yeah.
But the other ones, they were relatively in stock.
Mm-hmm.
Wii
U was pretty readily available.
Yeah, and this just went like, super quick. It was just gone.
Yeah.
And it's just, with them not having the region lock, I feel like it's going to be back a lot sooner than what it was with the Wii, where we didn't see them again for years.
Yeah, that's what I'm hoping. I mean, like I said, we were very lucky and both were able to get one, so we've been checking it out and stuff, and it's been great. But yeah, it is just annoying. You know what I mean? I feel like our like viewership now, it's gonna be like half the people have it, and half of the people are trying to still get one.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? So it's just tough, but. I mean, at the same time, though, like, I am glad, I mean, and we'll go through a breakdown of games, but, like, like I said, just going a little bit more into the game side of it now. Right now, I'm sorry, it is a Zelda console.
Yeah.
That's just what it is right
Absolutely.
now. And like I said, and listen, it will be, like, already the list that they have up for the games that are guaranteed this year for the Switch is already the first 2 years of the Wii U were like combined.
Yeah.
So I'm not worried.
Yeah, I'm not worried.
You know what I mean?
Plus, the list of developers just went up.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
The list of developers is now 87 partners.
It's only growing.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm all for it. And I still haven't seen like one company that me personally, I was like, the second I heard about it, my like eyebrow raised and was like, holy fuck, was Atlas.
Yes.
Atlas is partnered. I haven't heard a single Atlas licensed game even in the works yet.
Yeah.
The biggest prediction I personally have, which is now actually making me really debate on getting it for the system I was planning on, was Persona.
Yes.
Because if you're telling me I can then take that Persona game and go to a console type setup and then use it as a handheld, I just might get it on there. I mean, I have a PS4 and a Vita, but I don't want to do the remote play shit. Like, I'd rather just have it on that system.
I mean, with Sonic Mania, Like Sonic Mania it's obviously a download title.
Yeah.
But it's coming out now to the Switch. I'm gonna get it on Xbox.
Yeah. Oh,
but
yeah,
I'm probably gonna get it on the Switch too.
Just to check it out.
Because it'll be there. I can play it whenever, and
it'll be handheld.
Yeah, it'll be cool.
Mm-hmm.
It'll feel like an older Sonic game.
Yeah.
Because it's a Nintendo console. It's not traditional controllers. It's
yeah,
different.
yeah. But no, yeah. Like, here's the thing. I had a lot of qualms about the Switch, and after having it in my hands for a while and checking it out, I do like it. I do genuinely like it. I'll be honest though, would I recommend this to most people? Probably not. Like,
not yet.
For now, exactly. That's exactly it. And that's what bothers me though, because Nintendo is putting it on such a scarce level where it's like you need to get it now, or you're not going to get it for a while. Or you're not going to get it for a questionable amount of time. Like, that's the problem.
The other thing to counter that, though, too, is, yes, this thing isn't that available, but average Joe down the street isn't going to buy this now anyway.
Exactly.
Because it's only Zelda.
Yes.
So, and others, but mainly Zelda.
Yeah.
But
we are going to talk about the rest of the games for it, but except for Just Dance. We're not talking about Just Dance.
Or Skylanders.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't need those.
Yeah.
Although Skylanders I might bring up a little bit, because it's very interesting the way it works.
Well, we brought that up before.
Yeah, but I read more on
there's
it,
more?
and it's very interesting the way that this works. We'll get to that.
Yeah.
But it's the people that really wanted it are the people that got it. The
definitely.
Like the people that are going
dedicated.
into stores now that are like, do you guys get the Switch?
Way too late in the game.
Yeah, and they didn't care enough to be there day one. They didn't care enough to be Nintendo's fans. And Nintendo is getting good reactions from their fans.
Let's not cut them off at the knees. Jesus Christ. If there's a different level of dedication to the fan base.
Yes.
We have religious, good Lord. Like, we put gaming on a pedestal.
Yes,
you know what I mean? And then listen, there's a whole community for it. That's obviously why we mostly talk about games. But it's like, here's the thing. I get when people do that. I'll never be surprised if someone's walking into, you know what I mean? Like, if I'm walking around in, like, Best Buy and somebody, jokingly asks if somebody has a Switch. And it's like, they don't. Yeah. Like, it's been a week and a half. Like, they're sold out.
Yeah, they're not there.
I heard, going off randomly, at least in our area, I heard Walmart and Target was getting more.
Yes. Well, Target actually... The way Target did things was Target saved some.
Yeah, they didn't.
To release
they didn't sell everything intentionally. I heard,
but they still have the same amount. So. Yeah, it's not like Target as a company got similar amounts that Walmart did, that Toys R Us did, that GameStop did, that Best Buy did, and Target just didn't put them all out.
That's so weird.
Because they wanted
to sell them later to get the build up and make it seem like they're consistent.
Right.
When it's the same thing.
That and Target and Nintendo have a pretty healthy relationship.
Yeah, that is very true. I usually see they always have big Nintendo-esque sections in their setups. All right, well let's start going in on games at least. And like I said, so to kind of end off on the console itself, like I said, I sadly I wouldn't recommend it to people right now. If we get way bigger games and they do hit, I mean, this is definitely... Like, here's the thing I want to say about the Switch. I'm looking forward to it growing.
Yes, me too.
And I really want it to, because that is ultimately why I bought it. I bought it ultimately because I do have faith in Nintendo to eventually get this system where the Wii U should have been.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And especially with how much even more advanced I can already tell this type of like setup is, I want it to go even further than that.
And it also makes sense now that I'm holding it in my hands. It now makes sense as to why Star Fox Zero sucked, as to why we didn't get a real Metroid, as to why we barely got a real Kirby. We didn't get a Yoshi main game other than Woolly World.
Yeah, which that was pretty solid. I will give
Woolly
Yoshi.
World was great.
It definitely wasn't like a Kirby Epic Yarn, which not to like knock that game too much, but it was like that game was just clearly meant for kids. Yeah. Yoshi looked kiddie, but that game was actually difficult.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Like a lot of people don't realize that for the people who haven't played it, but that game is like platforming wise, like more difficult than what people expect.
Oh, 100%. But I now understand like why Nintendo didn't make certain titles for the Wii U, because they're saving them for what this can do.
Yes, I agree.
I think on a couple different levels, this system gets mixed reviews from me.
Like I said, I'm the same way.
Performance and hardware, I give it a 9 out of 10. I like the hardware. I like the way it's set up. I like the feel of the controllers. I like the performance of it.
It took me a bit, but I do. Yeah, I am comfortable with it. I am comfortable with it now, and I do even like the fact that like I can unplug the Joy-Cons if I wanted, and even just hold them separately in my hands. Yes. I've actually been doing that recently. Like I had them on the plug-in controller that it comes with.
Yeah.
But at one point I was just kind of bored, and I was doing a bunch of amiibo slots for Breath of the Wild. And yeah, I just said, fuck it. And I just was holding each one in my hand and just leaning back and not having them connected. And I was playing it just the same, and it actually kind of felt better.
Yes.
So that was just like...
Because you can stretch out a little bit.
Yeah, well, it's just free range. Like, you don't... You know what I mean? Now, I would have really liked... And I will say this. I wish... like, Breath of the Wild's a good example. I wish Breath of the Wild had kind of that option with the Joy-Cons of how, like, Twilight Princess did with the Wii remotes. Yeah. Where I would have loved if I could have countered, and then if I had the Switch, or if I had the Joy-Con separate in hand, to swing around, like, the right Joy-Con for, like, the sword in Link's hand.
Oh, definitely.
I thought that would have been really cool.
Yeah, that would be different.
You know what I mean? But and like I said before,
they are also trying to get away from the motion.
Exactly. Well, kind of.
Kind of, not really.
Exactly.
They're just trying to not make it as gimmicky.
Exactly. And here's what I want, though. I like I just said, all I want is Wii Sports on it. Imagine if you could take a Wii Sports on the go, and if, let's say, you and me were just out and about somewhere, and it's just like, hey, do you want to play a quick round of bowling?
Yeah.
And we just put it up on a table, and you just bowl. Like, how simple that is, and to just have that, like, right out the gate.
It'd be pretty neat.
Well, here, how about this, then? I was thinking about let's go into Zelda, but why don't we talk about the smaller stuff first?
I wanna actually bring up the interface.
Okay.
Because
keep going.
I think the interface, I give a 10 out of 10. And the reason I give the interface such a high rating is because of how simplistic it is. The entire way that this system works is just... It's simple enough to feel full.
Well,
if that makes sense.
Yeah, and
because you have all your games straight up on the front.
Right there.
You have the eShop, which is super easy to go to.
Yep.
It's not some crazy little button up in the corner.
There's not multiple pages also.
Right.
That your home page is one page.
And it's just there. I also like the fact that you can make a black theme because it's easier on the eyes at night.
Yep.
So if you're playing in a dark room, you don't have that bright light shining in your face.
Customizing for the themes and stuff is super easy. I also really love because, like, for example, like when I was playing the 1-2 Switch, and each Joy-Con is a separate controller, or like if I was playing Bomberman, and like same thing, the Joy-Cons separate.
Right.
It's super easy to realign them.
Yes.
And you don't have to like hit a sync button or anything crazy. Like it's like, nope, it just resets all the controllers automatically and then goes, hey, press L and R for what controller. Yep. Bloop, that's it. Like that's really cool.
It's super simple. The profiles are simple. They're easy to understand. It's not difficult to find friend codes. You can also find people through like different methods other than friend code.
I will say though, I do wish that they would just cut the shit with this friend code thing.
I don't mind it.
That's just me. I would rather prefer, like, I don't know. I would just rather, like, at first I was thinking name, but then the account names are really just nicknames.
Yeah, it's just whatever you want.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know. I don't mind the friend codes.
You know, let me word it this way. I would have, no.
Because it's the same thing as like a Blizzard code.
Yeah,
it's the same thing.
It is.
Battle.net.
It's the same goddamn thing. You're
it's
right.
The same thing. It doesn't bother me at all. I know it bothers a lot of people, but it doesn't bother me. I don't care.
Like, ugh.
No, I mean, you know, I've had a 3DS and for a while now, and I don't have many friends on the 3DS to play with people.
Exactly.
So I never had to bother with the friend code.
Yeah, I didn't even bother. Now it is.
Yeah. But, I mean, you know, with settings, too, settings is super easy to get to. And the load times on the interface, there are, like, none. You click and it loads.
Well, even the download speeds as well, by the way, for the games. Because Breath of the Wild I was nervous about, so that was a 12 gig download. And for me, that downloaded in less than 10 minutes.
Yeah.
So it was very quick. Like, I opened it up, like, I waited at midnight, and I opened it up, and I had the system, and also, too, the system is very simplistic setup-wise, too.
Yes.
Because it's just a charging stand.
Yep.
You just plug that one thing, and then you just plug an HDMI into the TV. That's it. I mean, not to make that sound like it's any better than how Xbox or PlayStation is, because it's the same thing. But
it's just, it's a lot, it's smaller. Everything's more compact.
Yeah.
There's not
36 plugins.
Yeah, and there's not a big box that's sitting there that you have to worry about where you're going to put this thing. I have it on the edge of my entertainment system.
I will say, though, I haven't even had an issue with it yet, but I feel like later on when more stuff comes out, I feel like it's going to be an issue. I feel like they should have put 3 USB ports on this thing. Because they only have 2.
Maybe.
I'm just saying. Like I said, I mean, like, I have nothing plugged in USB-wise right
me
now.
neither.
But I could just see down the road.
Oh, definitely.
You know.
Depending on what comes out.
Exactly. Yeah. I could just see it be something where it's like, you gotta buy a USB expander, and it's just like, oh.
I mean, you already have to buy a LAN adapter. That's my biggest gripe with the system.
What?
A LAN adapter. There's no Ethernet port.
Oh, but it's built-in Wi-Fi.
Yeah, but if you ever want to hook it up to like faster downloads, or if you ever want to hook it up to like the actual internet itself, I run all my stuff wired. I don't run anything wireless.
Really?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely not.
Yeah.
No
So,
way.
I mean, don't get me wrong. It's obviously, it's the most proficient to do wired.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. For me, the way my room is set up, I couldn't, because then I'd have cords going like, across.
Yeah. No, my modem sits behind my TV. So I just reach down and plug in a...
Then if you had it there, then it'd be silly to do wireless. Yeah. That's all I got.
But yeah, I mean, I like the kickstand on it. I think everything feels natural. I think everything feels fine. The only thing that I don't like about the console is how skinny or how thin the L and R buttons are on the Joy-Cons.
Yes.
Because I do have chubbier fingers. So there are times where I'll hit like the wrong one. Like the ZR or ZL, which, I mean, most of the time that's not a problem.
What I was going to say, too, is one thing that keeps throwing me off is, and this is just my own gripe, like, I keep getting confused that the L and R are not LR, or LZ and RZ. Like, I keep doing those back ones instead of just hitting the bumpers. I keep hitting the triggers, thinking that they're the bumpers. And, like, I keep...
Well, I just think of PlayStation with L and R.
Yes.
And then... R1 and R2, L1 and L2, so I just picture R and L, and then ZR and ZL as R2 and L2.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it is ZL and ZR.
Yeah.
Shit, I mixed them up.
Oh, whatever.
But yeah, it's just, I don't know. Yeah, like I said, it's solid, and it has promise.
Yes.
I just need to see it.
It's the first console in a while that I've picked up, and I was just like, I can see this going places. Yeah. Without it being like an Xbox or a PlayStation, I'm just like, okay, cool. So
I know where this is
we're getting
going.
Last of Us and Gears of War. This is great.
Exactly.
Whereas Nintendo, I mean, yeah, they have their franchises like Zelda and Mario and Kirby, but we don't know what's coming.
No, definitely not.
There's not a Mario 7 or whatever that we have to worry about.
Nope.
Like there's not.
But
it's different.
But I will say one thing too, and I think this is still, and like I said, like I'm really not trying to bash it, but it's just honestly like things I want to bring up. You know, I think it was 2 podcasts ago we were talking about that Mario Sports game that was coming out, and then how they're doing amiibo cards and a bunch of stuff like that. But I don't know, like I just, and then that's the thing though, that's only coming out for the 3DS. And it's like, it's coming out, the Switch is out, why not put it out on the Switch?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's like, I get if it's really for 3DS and it uses dual screen properly, and trying to recalibrate that would be fucking weird. Like, I do get that. But at the same time, you're not telling me you could just make that a console game?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, come on. Like,
I mean, the other thing, too, it might have been so far in development that...
Very true.
They don't want to go back and start it over.
Very true.
That's probably their reasoning the most, in all honesty.
Yeah. No, I understand that. But yeah, so like I said, it has promise for me. I don't want to give it ratings yet, strictly off the fact of I don't feel like there is enough just even out there yet.
Well, that's why I'm only giving it ratings off performance and off the interface, because there's not enough to rate this thing as an entire console. Yeah.
Because
I've played 2 games.
Enough. Yeah, exactly.
And the 2 games that are great.
Like I played 3. I went through 1-2 Switch, Super Bomberman R, and Zelda, obviously. So what do you want to do? Dealer's choice here. Do you want to do Zelda first and just tackle the fucking biggest one out of the way, or do we want to hit the small stuff and then we'll save the best for last?
Let's save the best for last. Let's talk about 1-2 Switch.
1-2 Switch. I have a lot of problems.
I do too.
Okay. It is in my opinion, it is a terrible, like, beta test version of something, and like a neat idea that just did not execute well.
To me, it felt like this was what they used to test the motion
Yes.
in the
Completely
design
agree.
lab.
Yes.
And then they were like, hey, it's already a program. Let's just add stuff and put it on a cartridge.
First of all, I hate the fact, and I get where they were trying to go with it. I hate the fact that I'm staring at a person the entire time instead of staring at the screen.
Yes.
It's
cool.
It makes it awkward.
Yeah.
It is impossible for it to not be awkward. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you're just getting in these weird...
The gun duel thing wasn't that bad.
No, but the problem was that's all it is.
Yeah.
What you think it is. Like, it's just bang, game done.
Yep.
Do you want to do it again? And it's like... You know what I mean? So, like, when we talk about it and, like, you think of, like, oh, that'd be fun to play. Yes. For 1 second.
It should have been bundled with the system.
Yes, it absolutely should have been.
It should not have been a $50 title.
It absolutely should have been.
40, 50? It was 50.
It was 50.
Yeah.
It was highway robbery is what it was.
And yeah, there's 28 games that
28
are all the
games,
exact same.
You can't skip videos.
Yeah.
And the other thing was, like, the movement. Because, first of all, there's one mini game on there where it's called Joy-Con Spin. And the whole point of the game, which I don't know if you remember seeing it, was like you have to you lay the flat side of the Joy-Con that usually sticks into the side of the tablet. You lay it flat on a table. You have to pick it up even and then spin it clockwise. And if you spin, and whoever essentially, you get to do it 3 times. Each person gets to do it with their own Joy-Con 3 times. And whoever does the most degree of spin without fucking tilting it or fucking it up wins. And it's very calibrated. Like, you can tell when it's set down and then moved in a circle. It knows exactly where it's at in retro.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah, in, like, scope of where it was, which is really cool. But then you have fucking games like table tennis.
Yeah.
Where all you have to do is just swing after you hear the noise.
Yep.
There's no calibration in that. You can literally just keep swinging back and forth and you'll be fine.
Right.
It just pisses me off. And then, like, you know, it's 28 games and, like, 2 of them are, like, yoga.
Yeah.
Like, who the fuck is, like, what?
Who wants to play yoga
Who the fuck is playing yoga on the Switch? It's
People
like,
want to play yoga on the Wii, not the Switch.
God damn, it's just, it just is bad. It really, and listen, and I bought it. Like, I wish I could say better about it, but, like, I made a mistake buying it.
It got like 6s.
That's what I'm saying. It's bad. It's just bad.
Yeah.
Like, anybody who has thought about getting interested in it, I'm sorry. Like, I wanted it, and even me personally.
If you have kids, might be cool.
Maybe, but it's probably not.
Probably not.
It's probably not. Like I said, that's just me. Like, I honestly would not recommend it to anyone.
I'd recommend it to a kid, but
I would just honestly, I would just rather recommend Bomberman.
Yes.
Or like Shovel Knight or something.
Well, let's talk about Bomberman.
So Bomberman.
So you played Bomberman. I did not get a chance to play Bomberman.
I played quite a bit of Bomberman. I sunk probably about 20 hours into Bomberman. It's mixed. I want to give it... Okay, so I'll be honest with you. The Bomberman lover inside of me wants to give it an 8.
Yep.
The realistic human being inside of me is going to give it a 6.
Okay.
There's a couple things. So, first let me actually change pace, because I feel like I've been, like, super negative. So, let me go, like, super positive. They went really cartoony, but good.
Okay.
And it fits the game well. The tone of the game is, like, super, like, out there and bananas and crazy. But it's good. And even, like, you know, me being 24, I'm still into it. Like, it's not, like, enough where I'm like, this is for babies. Because it's not. It's, like, and it's also very difficult. But, and the cool thing is it can even support up to 8 players, which is really cool. And all of the characters do have their own personalities, which is really cool. Like, there's the fucking, like, lazy one. There's, like, the kooky, like, crazy one who's, like, off in the distance all the time.
Yep.
There's the one girl who's, like, super nice and passive aggressive, but then if she gets pissed off, she, like, goes, like, Hulk rage mad. Like, it's cool stuff, and they each really do have their own personality. You can tell. Another thing I really like is the boss fights. The boss fights are super unique. So essentially what happens is all the character bosses have 2 phases. The first phase is they are just a character like you are in a grid, and you literally do that battle where they're like faster and can drop more bombs, but you've been getting upgrades through each stage, so you know you're a formidable opponent for that boss.
Right.
And then once you kill them in battle mode, then they turn into like a super mech or something. And then there's not a grid. You're in a full open square fighting, the first boss is like a big mechanical spider type thing.
Okay.
With like chainsaws for hands and like a bat and or a laser sword thing. So you gotta like dodge those.
So I'd be terrified.
Yeah, so but it's cartoony though. Like it's not threatening at all. So those are the things I really liked about it. What I did not like about it was the difficulty spike is pretty quick. The second thing was every world, every planet has roughly about 7 stages on average.
Okay.
And then either the 7th stage is like the boss phase or it's like right before or right after. But it's roughly about 7 stages. Now what I don't like is in most, especially even like Nintendo games, and even like the best one I can think of, at least offhand, is like the old school like Kirby 64, when you went from planet to planet, but each one had like 3 phases.
Yep.
You know what I mean? If you die at any point on any part of the planet, you have to redo the entire planet.
Oh.
Yeah, it's not great. And it really takes you out of the game. Like, it really disappoints you enough where it's like... And the stages take time. Like, because you're just walking around, placing a bomb, and walking away and waiting. Like, it's a time consumer. It's not like a... And that's the other thing that bothered me, because it's like a console, and this didn't come out... Like, this isn't like Breath of the Wild or something. Like, it didn't come out on the Wii U as well.
Right.
So this is on the Switch. And this is just my opinion, but when I think of games that are solely out for the Switch right now, you mentally think, like, you could play it quick, or you don't have to. This you have to dedicate a lot of time to, because you have to get through a whole planet, which takes at least an hour.
Yeah.
I'm not, like at least. That's even if you do it in one clean run. So that was very annoying, because then it takes you all the way back, so that's really shitty. The difficulty spike's pretty tough right out the gate. I'm not gonna lie. Like I said, there hasn't been a point where I've gotten stuck at all. Like, the most retries I've done on a planet is 2.
Okay.
So, it's not impossible. But also, I've played, like, every Bomberman ever.
Yeah.
So, I'm kind of used to it. Now, the biggest gripe I have with it, and here's why I wanted to give it an 8, but I can't, because I have to give it a 6, is the controls. So... The grid it's just that classic grid-based system.
Yep.
And the characters are in 3D, and they actually look great. The problem is how great and how fluent you move, but you're in a grid. So it doesn't matter how fluid you can walk.
Right.
Because you're in a grid.
Right.
And that's what's annoying. Like, when I walked around on a boss stage, which is a full open area... You can move where you want. It like, you can even tell the movement is good. On Bomberman, the movement is good. I don't want people to get that misconstrued. But the problem is, on every other stage, you're in that grid. So you don't walk well. You walk clunky.
Right.
Because you have these cornered off 45-degree cut angle turns. So your character who moves fluent and can do these diagonal, or even like do a nice natural U-turn walking, you know what I mean? You can't do that in the grid, so it doesn't come off well. And like, if you have to place a bomb and run away and hit another corner, I've died multiple times just purely because the game won't have Bomberman walk in the corner right. You know what I mean? And that's, like I said, that's just the contrast of how fluent the character is and how restricted the map is.
Gotcha.
And it's very annoying. Like, and the other thing, which I was very surprised at, is so you have a shop, which is cool. You can buy a bunch of items and stuff as you earn coins. You have the story mode, of course. And then you have, like, options, obviously. And then you have battle mode. So if you just want to play the quick round, you can do it in battle mode. Here's the problem. So the game has up to 2 players cooperative for story mode.
Right.
And I wanted to play with my little brother. So I gave him one of the Joy-Cons. I said, well, we don't have enough time to do a whole planet, so why don't we do, like, maybe a battle or 2? Just have fun. You cannot do battle mode with no less than 4 people. And I only bought the Switch. I don't have extra Joy-Cons.
Right.
So I can't even play battle mode. Unless I play online.
Well, that's pretty shitty.
I didn't want to play online.
Yeah.
I just wanted to do local 2v2 or 1v1. And then the worst part was, so then after hearing that, you would think, oh, just put 2 bots on.
Yeah.
You can't put bots on. At all. So, like, even if, in theory, I wanted to go up against 8 characters on the map, nope. They all gotta either be people I know, all with Joy-Cons, or I have to be playing with randos online. Which I'm not, I'm not trying to disclaim it. That's not a bad thing, but that is really fucking stupid. That
you're giving no longer a party game.
You give me cooperative story, and then go, by the way, if you want to do a quick match, we can't do it.
Yeah.
Unless you have Joy-Cons.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah. And I'm sorry, like, with the games that are out right now, I have no need to buy 2 more Joy-Cons. Yeah. There is no need
Especially
for that.
not when they're $80.
Exactly. They're $80 fucking, and I have no need because the only game I'm really playing is Zelda.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So, like I said, Bomberman, 6 out of 10. It hurts me. You gotta understand that. It hurts me to my core to say it's bad.
Yeah.
I do, like, every fucking inch of my being wanted to come on this podcast and be like, it is so good. But I have to be truthful with it. Oh, it's very upsetting. Very upsetting. On a very quick side note, which I already told you about, and I'm giddy like a fucking schoolgirl.
Yes.
On a Bomberman note, Bomberman 64 is my favorite Bomberman of all time.
It's pretty great.
And probably always will be.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think it, unless they like really do like a full remake or something, or do another game like it, I think it's just gonna be my favorite.
Let me ask you this: which game that has 64 in the title is not fantastic? There wasn't many, because Donkey Kong 64 was great, Mario 64 was great.
How about Commodore?
Okay,
which isn't a game, but
yeah. Fair enough.
Bunch of old school retro fans are like, "What the fuck?" Just unsubscribe, just immediately done. No, yeah. So anyways, yeah. So Bomberman 64 today just got announced that it's on the Virtual Console for the Wii U.
Yes.
So ironically enough, I can't wait to go back on the Wii U and play Bomberman 64. But what I'm hoping though, and I didn't hear anything because I saw 2 different articles post it. I haven't heard anything of if that Virtual Console game plans on also being on the Switch.
Yeah, I don't know. Because the Virtual Console's not live yet.
So exactly. So we don't know.
Yes, we don't know what's going on with it.
It could be... They could... I mean, in theory, this is... I'm just like... But yeah, in theory, they could be like, nope, no N64 games. We're just doing GameCube. Or we're only going to pick the 3 most popular N64 games and everything else blows. Like, you know what I mean?
But I swear to God, if we don't get Pokemon Snap with the ability to use the thing and move, like we should have been able to do with the Wii U...
Yeah.
Still.
Well, they put it on the Wii U finally, didn't they?
Yeah, but they didn't add that.
No,
motion
they didn't. No,
that
they
everybody
didn't add the
wanted.
motion.
Yeah, no.
Yeah. So anyway, so that was the silver lining, at least, to my very shitty week with Bomberman. Because like I said, I didn't beat it yet, so I don't want to give it a full review. But I mean, honestly, I'm on Planet 5. I've put enough time into it.
How many planets are there?
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
Like I haven't beat it, but I'm assuming.
Well, I didn't know if they were like locked. Or
no,
something.
No, it's very planet by planet. I'm assuming 7.
Oh, that's it.
The way, yeah, and well, because only 7, but remember 7 stages each planet. You gotta do it in one run. It's a pain in the ass. And like I said, but I know how the game is already laid out. I've been doing the same already cookie cutter thing for the past 5 planets, so I've already done 50 stages essentially of the same thing. So I feel like I can put in a good impulse for it. And like I said, I don't expect anything dynamic with Bomberman. It is a grid-based bomb-laying game, but like I compared it the best way I could compare it. I compared it to the Bomberman Live that was on 360. And I love that game. Yeah. I love that game. That was the easiest, like, pick up and play if you want.
Forget about that game.
Pick up and play if you want. Do any type of game mode. Like, there was so many type of options. They had all those, like, character outfits and shit. It was great.
Yeah.
And now it didn't even have a story mode.
Yeah, it didn't.
So for Super Bomberman, I said, if you just give me what you gave me with Bomberman Live and then literally give me a story mode, I'm fucking done. Like, this is the greatest Bomberman ever. Yeah. I literally was going to chalk it up to, like, greatest Bomberman of all time, but no. They missed the
dropped the ball.
Yeah, they really did. They really did, and it's very disappointing. Like, and that's even why I said, you know what I mean, like I brought up before. If you would have told me, too, if they would have had another month or 2 to work on it, to really hone in on, make the grid more round, to edge corners better, or, you know what I mean, or just something, you know what I mean, like, you know, and I'm not ignorant, I know they couldn't have done anything in a month, but, you know what I mean, just like, you know, I get early in the year. I get quarter one of the year. I
Yep.
understand that, but the impending doom of right now when the games are so limited and, you know, Binding of Isaac even got pushed back and all that shit, and it's just like, fuck, man. It's just shitty. But,
let's touch on Shovel Knight.
okay, yes.
Yeah.
I almost forgot about that one. I'm very sorry.
So Shovel Knight's the next big one that's kind of successful so far.
Yes.
$25 gets you the whole thing. You get the game and the two expansions.
Treasure something edition?
Yeah, Treasure Trove.
Treasure Trove.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's 2 extra expansions on top of the game itself.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty great. I downloaded. I haven't played it yet. It is sitting there. But while I was at work today, I watched videos of people playing it.
Yeah.
And it was off-screen video, so I watched people actually use the controls.
Yeah.
It looks like it's gonna be fairly simple. It looks like it'll actually feel like a good game. It'll look like it looked like it was essentially gonna feel the same way as the other Shovel Knights, just being able to play it completely portable and not on a 3DS small screen.
Yes, so, I was just gonna say because I played it on Xbox One and Wii U.
I played it on Wii U.
Yeah, so I played it on both. I played Plague of Shadows on both, and I probably like about 80% when it comes to like full completion. I've beaten the game like 5 times. But yeah, like I love Shovel Knight. It's a perfect setup. They already had it on the Wii U and stuff with Nintendo. They did an amiibo.
Yep.
It's a great call for. I
don't know if the amiibo works in this.
I don't know. I've not tried it yet.
I'm curious.
Yeah, I was talking to you about that before too. The other thing I'm very curious on, which I've never seen yet, which somebody leave a thing in the comments for it. I'm just too lazy and don't want to fact check right now. But I'm very interested to see if Plague of Shadows or if the new DLC allows co-op. Yes. I don't know if it does. I don't know if that's strictly limited to just the Shovel Knight campaign because it's technically just a Shovel Knight amiibo.
Right.
What would be fucking awesome, and this is just me going way too in depth, is if Yacht Club Games did a Plague Knight amiibo.
Yes.
For that DLC, and same thing with Spectre Knight. Yo, I would buy that in a fucking heartbeat.
Yes,
absolutely. They would look awesome. They would look so cool.
I mean, the Shovel Knight amiibo looked dope.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Oh man, is the only third-party amiibo, right? Do you count Animal Crossing?
Well, Animal Crossing is not third-party.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. That's first-party.
I mean, technically, Sonic is third-party, but it's for Smash Bros.
Yeah.
So yeah, Shovel Knight's the only
one
third party.
I mean, I guess in theory, coming up, you could count the Mario and Sonic thing, but yet again, it's Mario, so it's first party.
Yeah. Well, Sonic's not part of that. That's just the Mario.
Oh, Mario Sports. Yeah, Mario
Shit.
Sports. Never mind. Sorry.
I mean, there's Cloud and Bayonetta, but that's Smash Bros.
Yeah, which they don't even have a Bayonetta one.
Not yet. It's still in the
Yes, exactly.
And
God, how late on the fucking game are they with that, though?
Yeah.
Anybody.
You know damn well that they're holding off on that because they're going to release it the same day Smash comes out for the Switch.
Which, yet again, and I've been talking to a lot of people about that, I don't even know what they're doing.
It's going to be a port. It's going to be a port with extra characters.
It has to be a port because,
It's going to be what they're doing with Mario Kart, where we get the port with all the DLC plus extra stuff. It's going to be the same thing. We'll get a port with all the DLC, and it'll have extra stuff, extra characters. Maybe this is when we get Shovel Knight.
Yeah.
Or maybe they'll put Yooka-Laylee on it.
Yeah.
Something like that. I think the only other is Chibi.
Chibi Robo.
Chibi Robo. That's first party, right?
Yes.
Because that has an amiibo.
Yes.
And that's it. I mean, there was a couple.
Because there's There was 4 Chibi Robo games in total.
Yeah, and they were all on Nintendo.
Yeah, and I think only 2 of them were in the States.
Yes.
I think the other 2 were in Japan only.
One on 3DS.
Yeah, and I think the other 2 were Japan only.
Yeah.
Because I remember even when Melee came out, and there was a Chibi Robo trophy.
Yeah.
But he was different. It was when he was he wasn't even he literally looked almost like a corkscrew kind of thing.
Yeah.
He looked different.
He wasn't the same as what we see now.
Yeah, it was definitely a lot different. Where was I going with that? Yeah, but so anyway, it's interesting. But but with Shovel Knight, I just want to see them put out more stuff. The only thing I'm interested in, so I checked on Xbox. before we recorded, and the DLC is not out yet as of right now, as of us recording.
But it is on the Switch.
But it is on the Switch,
which is
and
very
people are playing it.
And you can buy it separately as a standalone.
It's just a standalone
if you've
game.
already played through Shovel Knight and Plague Knight.
Yes, which is cool, but I want to play it on my Xbox One.
Right. Yeah, so do I.
Because I've already put so much time into Shovel Knight on that console. I really don't want to buy it again.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I've looked up research again. Like, I wanted to make sure it wasn't just for the Switch. It's not like a Switch exclusive thing.
Right.
And I didn't even know that it had even any point of exclusivity.
Right.
That's the other thing. I was like, I was very surprised at that.
So let's touch on the other two games real quick. The other two big games, Just Dance and Skylanders. So Just Dance is a thing.
First of all, you're already complimenting them too much by saying big.
But they're physical. They got physical.
That
releases.
is very true compared to the roster.
Yeah.
Okay.
To me, they're a big game.
So Just Dance happened.
Just Dance happened. From what I've seen, Just Dance, the most response it's ever gotten is through the Joy-Cons, which makes perfect sense. But even like the phone apps, like, can't stand up to this.
Really?
Which the phone apps do better than the Wii remotes.
Wow.
Yeah, the phone apps actually have really good calibration when it comes to it.
Huh.
They do better than the Wii remotes, but the Joy-Cons outlast these. You can use each Joy-Con as a controller, so you get two players right off the bat, which is pretty neat.
Oh, that is cool.
Skylanders. So Skylanders I want to talk about.
Oh, yeah, so
we mentioned this before.
Thing? Yeah, because we went in with this on detail already, because the game's been out.
Yes. So in Imaginators, you have the crystals, you have the characters, there's the mini game to use the vehicles, there's the mini game to use the traps.
Yes.
So my thought was, okay, there's no portal.
Yep.
So the only thing you can do is use the NFC reader in the right Joy-Con that lets you use the figures.
Yeah.
You can also use the crystals, you can also use the traps, you can also use the vehicles, all from the NFC port in the Joy-Con.
You just tap it to the thing and it still reads it?
Yep, and you don't need to keep it on there. You tap it and it moves. The second you tap another one, that figure is then removed. So the fact that another company can use the NFC port inside the Joy-Con for their own game blows my mind. Like, Skylanders is not like a thing that I'm into at all. I'm over the fact that it's a thing, not even getting a console release this year. The fact that they did that blows my mind. Yeah. Which, I'm sure it's not difficult, but they didn't do it on the Wii U. And the Wii U had a portal.
They should have.
So, the fact that they can do this in such a small NFC port and not even have to keep it on there blows my mind, because it's all figures that have already been out.
No, that's
it's not new figures.
No, I mean, that's the thing. It's great, but I agree. It's like, if they had that technology, why the fuck didn't they just do it earlier?
Right.
Like, what the hell?
And maybe like the
Especially
NFC
for 3DS.
Yeah, exactly. You could do that with the Amiibos.
Well, like, and even like with the new 3DS XL,
just put it on the screen.
Just put it on the screen, tap it, and just play the fucking character.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
That was the worst part of having it on 3DS. Who the fuck wants to have a portal nearby? You can't play it on the go. What the fuck's the point of having it?
Now you don't need it.
Yeah.
So now you can play this anywhere. You just take the Skylanders with you and go.
As long as you get it on Switch.
Yeah, definitely.
Still got it on 3DS, you're still fucked.
Yeah. But I think that's fantastic.
Very interesting.
So it
good move. So yeah.
Yeah, and it
so
made
to
it
retract
so the
that then,
pack,
so everything works.
Right. Yeah, and it made it so the starter pack was only $60 because it doesn't need a portal. So the cheapest way to play Skylanders is on the Switch. It's just, it blows my mind. Now, I don't know if this Skylanders then is multiplayer, because I don't know how that works.
Yeah, I don't think so.
I didn't look at the back of the box, so I didn't see how many players
and
it
we
is.
Clearly have not played it.
But if it's 2-player,
the only thing I could
that's even more crazy technology.
Well, the only thing I could think of then is you have to separate the Joy-Cons. Each person presses the button to register.
Yep.
And then the only thing I could think of would be you tap them twice.
Oh, okay.
Like, you just tap the two characters, and like that's it.
Yeah.
And then if you tap a character, then again it'll probably be like which character is changing.
Yeah.
And then you just pick.
Yeah. But yeah, it's definitely interesting. So
yeah,
thought it was kind of cool. So Zelda.
Finally. Let's fucking go in.
Zelda. So first off, before we even get into it.
Yeah.
The Last of Us previously had the record for the highest amount of perfect scores from official video game reviewers, such as GameSpot, IGN, Game Informer, other games.
Metacritic.
Yeah, Metacritic, all that. Last of Us had 42.
Mm-hmm.
Until yesterday, The Legend of Zelda tied that. This morning, The Legend of Zelda broke that record. The Legend of Zelda has Breath of the Wild has 43 perfect scores. It is now the highest rated video game of all time.
Damn.
And
as of March 9th, and it might only grow.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. Metacritic currently has it at a 99%.
That's crazy.
For their round of all the different people.
Jesus.
The lowest rating it's gotten is an 8.25.
Wow. Yeah.
And I can firmly attest to this game that I absolutely give it a 10.
This is by far, and I really will eat my words on this. I was very, very skeptical.
Yes.
I have to give it a 10 out of 10.
Yeah.
And I'm going to say this, by the way, too. I've not beaten the game.
I haven't either.
But the amount of story, I've already probably sunk like 50 hours into it.
This Legend of Zelda has character development.
There's a story. There's a story you want to know.
Yes.
They give you that, like, I don't want to start spoiling stuff because we are still
There's
very
already
new.
plot twists. There's plot twists in the first hour of the game. And it's just the customization, the fact that it feels so free. Like, Skyrim to me doesn't get a 10 out of 10. No. Skyrim to me is meaningless.
Well,
it is.
Well, hold on. Let me say this. And here's why I don't like Skyrim. Here's a perfect example, a very simple example of why I got very bored with Skyrim. Long term, I still played through the whole game. But why I got very bored with Skyrim and why Zelda felt automatically so much more dynamic. Skyrim generally takes place over hilltops and mountains and the occasional village and stuff. But the biggest problem is it's snowing.
Yes.
Everywhere.
Yeah.
Fucking white. Like half of your fucking character palette is white all the fucking time. Breath of the Wild, you hit every fucking environment because the map is fucking huge as fuck.
It's 1.5 times the size of Skyrim.
And I believe it. And when I first heard that, I was like, there's no fucking way. And I'm playing it, I'm like, holy fuck.
There's still areas I haven't seen.
Oh, there's maps I haven't even touched. And
the area that we talked about the other night without spoiling things.
Yes.
That's probably my favorite part of the game so far. The fact that you can go from the plains to where we are, which is kind of at the base of a volcano. Yes. But completely unrelated. It's just it's amazing. Yeah. This game is amazing, and I know I said this to you. You disagreed with me. Mm-hmm. I get a Kingdom Hearts vibe from this game, in the vein of Kingdom Hearts has always kept me intrigued. It's always kept me wanting to do more. Got it. It's always kept me.
Sorry, that was my phone, I think.
Yeah, it kept me wanting to constantly play more, and there are times where Kingdom Hearts will go from happy-go-lucky to okay, you're gonna die. Like you need to get ready. Yeah. And I felt those same feelings throughout playing Zelda. Sometimes the music to me kind of feels the same. Mm-hmm. It's the same kind of... Well,
the music fits the mood.
Yes.
Very well.
Very well.
Very well.
The soundtrack is fantastic. I would probably pay for that special edition.
I would absolutely buy the soundtrack.
Just for the soundtrack. Yeah. The soundtrack's fantastic.
I regret that I didn't.
The biggest thing that impresses me as much in this game that it does is the environment, the living environment. And what I mean by that is the day and night cycle.
It's dynamic.
The weather cycle.
Yep.
But the fact that when you're standing on a plateau looking out and the clouds start moving and you can see the shadow of the clouds moving, the fact that you can shoot a tree with a fire arrow and it'll drop baked apples because the tree was on fire.
And it'll burn, and if there's multiple trees and the wind is blowing, it'll start a forest fire.
It's amazing. And if the wind's blowing the opposite way, it doesn't start a forest fire. You can cut down trees to make pathways. Yep. You can
blow up a bunch of trees with bombs and then blow them up again to make wood. Yeah.
It's amazing.
It is way larger than what I thought possible for it.
Yes.
This is
especially on a cartridge.
Yes.
Like whatever kind of cartridge they're using,
they're doing it right.
Yeah, it is beyond what I
They are absolutely doing it right. And then I almost kind of look at that cartridge and it's like, double the size of a Vita, essentially
Yeah.
thick-wise, and then I almost look at a Vita, though, it's like, you can't even do half of what they're doing.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, Jesus Christ.
It is absolutely amazing.
And they pulled out all the stops. And this is what I wanted.
Yes.
The only thing I'm a little, like I said, the only thing I'm just a little sad at, just in general, is that there wasn't even another game close to it at all. And I'm not even saying not even saying gameplay. I'm just saying is good quality.
Yeah.
That upset me the most.
But what makes me very happy about it is if Nintendo
it
does this...
Well, it is the first Nintendo.
Yes. And if they do this day one, if this is the reaction to Zelda, imagine what we're going to do to Mario Odyssey.
Yeah.
Imagine how, if they make a Metroid game, imagine how that's going to play out.
Yes.
Yes.
Don't get me excited. If.
But it's
allegedly Metroid.
Zelda is just it's fantastic.
Yo, they're killing it. They really got me back in the series. I was very nervous.
Well, I've played a couple of Zeldas before. I've never beaten them. I've put a couple of hours into them, and I told you that before.
Yeah, I have played most Zeldas. The only ones that I can honestly attest that I have not really put that much time into was the Minish Cap and Phantom Hourglass on DS. Four Swords I even played through. I've played through almost all of them at one point or another. So and I've even played through the remakes. Like I did Twilight Princess on GameCube and the Wii when they first came out.
Yep.
And then I replayed it again when it came out on the Wii U. And same thing with Wind Waker.
Yeah.
And Wind Waker was, oh my god, if you want to get into Wind Waker now, absolutely play it on the Wii U.
Yeah.
Fuck GameCube. Yeah. And oh my god. That is such a close personal spot in my heart. But even like Ocarina of Time, I did Master Quest and did the whole remap of the dungeon and New Game Plus with that thing, and yeah, I've done it all. Okay, but I'm just gonna start like throwing a couple daggers into it as well. So the one thing that I shouldn't say that I don't like about the game, but one thing that just really threw me off was the whole weapon setup.
Yes.
Like the weapons keep degrading and then going back. So like I went through about like 5 different weapons right out of the gate.
Yes.
You know what I mean? That like super messed me up. But I will say I haven't hit a point in the game yet that I've run out of weapons.
Right.
But that's the only thing that bothered me.
I did.
Okay.
There's points in the game where you have to do these tests.
Yeah.
And there are
the trials.
Yeah, there are 3 different levels of these tests.
Yep.
I started with the hardest one first.
I did the same thing.
I didn't know that there
were... Well, yeah, because we explored, and ironically enough, we explored the same way.
Right.
Not even, like, together, actually.
So another basic function of the game is runes.
Yep.
And one of the runes is your bombs.
Yes, and that is one cool feature. So essentially, you do have unlimited bombs.
Yes.
Right out the gate.
There's a cooldown for them.
Yes.
But you can switch between... There's 2 different kinds. There's a square one and a
yes, depending on the type of surface you want to throw it at.
Yeah,
which is
and
cool.
you can switch back and forth if it's a flat surface and you don't care if it rolls. So, I did run out of weapons. And I had to...
just keep chucking bombs.
Yeah, it took me a good 45 minutes.
Oh, because the bombs do not do that much damage
they don't.
to real enemies.
Yeah, they don't.
Basic trash mobs and stuff, yeah. And the one nice part about, what I do like about, like, sometimes with bombs, too, is, like, even if they don't do that much, you can use some strategy. So there's, like, you know, if you're fighting some higher caliber enemy in the middle of the wilderness, and there's a lake nearby, as long as you do the bomb and get them to explode into the lake, and just as long as they fall in, you're good.
Yeah.
Now, certain larger enemies can actually swim, though. So you gotta be careful with those.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, there's not that many gripes I have with the game. There really isn't. And I mean, listen, I came at it pretty negative, and like I said, I'm eating my own words because it is a phenomenal game.
It is, absolutely.
And from even the way I originally talked about it, and like I really wasn't even gonna get Zelda because the way they made it seem like a cash grab, but like it is a cash grab that's worth it.
Yeah.
Like, and that's so rare to see lately with games, but, like, it turned me around. And that's what I want. I want games to push back and go, like, no, like, yeah, have your negative fucking opinion, but we're still gonna, it's fucking great.
We're still gonna blow you out of the water.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what I want, and, like, that's fucking awesome. And I really do mean that, by the way, too, like, just even for the listener and stuff, and even for you, too, like, we have a lot of conversations, and I'll bash some stuff a little bit more than, you know, a normal person would, but it's because I want to get that. I want to eat my own words on stuff like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
I want to be proved wrong.
I absolutely want to be proved wrong. Yeah. That's only a benefit for everyone if I'm wrong.
So, speaking of being proved wrong.
Oh, okay.
We didn't really talk too much about Ghost Recon before it came out.
No, we did not.
But let's have the switch to something different.
Okay.
And let's talk about Ghost Recon.
Okay.
So I bought it.
You played a lot of it. I
did.
Yeah. I looked at a lot of gameplay, but you actually got to have your hands on, so this is way more your forte.
I was excited.
Yes.
I wasn't that excited.
Yes. When it was like, before. By the way, this is before it came out.
Before it came out.
Yes.
I was like, yeah, all right, cool. It's gonna be cool. It's gonna be the game that I play for the spring.
Mm-hmm.
But it wasn't like I need this game.
Yeah, it didn't seem like a necessity. I will say though, like the best way from what I saw from gameplay and stuff, it looked very similar to like Metal Gear Solid 5.
Yeah,
that's the best way I could describe it.
It definitely has a
like
vibe to
real
it.
Open world. You can really fuck around with whatever you want in that open world environment.
Yes.
So, anyway, sorry. Continue.
I am extremely glad that I bought it.
Okay.
I am having
is beating your expectation.
Yes, I am.
Awesome.
I'm having a lot of fun with
it. Good.
I don't think I'll hold it as high as I'm holding Zelda. Probably give it an 8 out of 10.
But that's really good.
But it is fantastic.
How would you compare it to like Division? Is it? Well, hold on. Let me word it this way. Is it even good to compare to Division at all?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
That's actually probably what I was going to compare it to.
Good.
So the Division compared to this looks like an amateur out of college made the Division, and somebody that's been making games for 30 years made this. Yeah. So this was Ubisoft Paris.
Okay.
Division was massive games.
Yeah.
Massive games didn't do a whole lot. Ubisoft Paris does a lot.
Yeah.
They help with the Assassin's Creed games. They help with Far Cry. They help with all of it.
They got experience.
Yeah.
And it shows.
And it definitely shows. It shows a lot. The game has similar aspects to the Division in the vein of holding down buttons to access stuff. The same, like switching the shoulder mechanics. You double tap Y to get to your sidearm.
Okay.
By the way, I'm playing it on Xbox. Yeah, you double tap Y to grab your sidearm.
And also keep a side note: the reviews I've seen for Xbox and or PS4 are generally the same.
Yeah,
like even I haven't even heard of too many graphical differences.
No, not really.
Which is rare. Usually you hear one side is like,
PlayStation's normally a little bit better with lighting and stuff.
It, yeah, but
this
I haven't heard. Yeah, because it's online. And
and it's pretty
so
much the same
open.
build.
Yeah.
The game is massive. It is. I'm still in the first area. And
just messing around with stuff.
Yeah, I'm going around doing all the missions, trying to grab all the intel and stuff like that.
Got it.
There is so much area just in the first. Like, looking at it, I think it's the entire country of Bolivia.
Wow.
It is a massive area. Plus, if you got the Day 1 edition, the pre-order edition, you got the Peruvian mission, which does take place in Peru. So that even adds another part to the map.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah, it is. You can drive any vehicle. You can fly any helicopter.
That's cool.
That being said, the driving and helicopter mechanics are pretty shitty.
Okay.
If you drive, do not use the right stick. The camera auto follows you. So if you're making a turn, it'll be behind you the entire time.
So don't worry.
Yeah, just keep your thumb off that stick.
That's weird. That's such an unnatural thing.
It's very weird.
Yeah.
Also, the helicopter mechanics, the only game I've ever flown a helicopter in is Grand Theft Auto. I'm used to the bumpers to turn left and right, and the analog stick to tilt.
Did you ever do helicopter in Battlefield?
No.
Those are fucking impossible.
No, because the only Battlefield game I've ever played was 1.
Oh, okay.
I played a little bit of 4, but I never got in a vehicle.
Yeah, Battlefield, I could not fly helicopters to my goddamn life.
Yeah, this is extremely difficult because this you just use the left stick
to do everything.
Accelerating is the right trigger, but or R2 if you're on PlayStation. Yeah. But it's weird because you hold down. Or you hold up to make the helicopter face down.
Down to nosedive forward, but to go forward, yeah.
But you keep nosediving to the point where it's now
you're going down.
You're descending. So you need to almost pull up as if you were gonna stop
But then
to
you
go higher.
Yeah, because then you
it doesn't make a lot of sense.
It's weird, yeah.
But what's really cool is I was playing with a couple friends, and I was the driver at one point. They were sitting on the outside of the helicopter.
Okay.
And I turned them to the side so they could snipe from the air, the compound that we were trying to go get intel in.
That's awesome.
It is amazing the way that it works. It is a lot of fun. If you're in the backseat of a car, you can press the B button or circle on PlayStation to move back and forth.
That's cool.
So that you can look out a separate window depending on what area you're going into.
Oh shit, that's cool.
When they say you do this whatever way you want,
you
can go in guns blazing, or each player can tag up to 3 different people.
I saw that in the trailer where it's like a synchronized thing. Yeah,
and it's amazing. You can tag locations, you can tag items. There's different supplies that you grab, and this is where it gets a lot like Division. So there's medical supplies, there's security supplies, there's supplies for tech and stuff like that.
Okay.
Based off of how many supplies you have, you use those combined with skill points that you get for leveling up, and you can also find in the wild to get different skills. So one of the skills later on is an item that you get a parachute so you can jump out of helicopters.
So it is kind of like how the skill tree was set up for Division.
Kind of. Except you need the skill points instead of just supplies. And you can do it anywhere. You don't have to go back to a home base.
You can just pause and upgrade. Right.
Yeah.
There.
Now the only thing is when you do that, you're online. You're not pausing the game. So you have to make sure that you're in cover.
Yeah.
Which is another weird dynamic.
But you can do it while you're like driving somewhere.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like if you're a passenger in the car.
Yep, you can do anything.
That's cool.
And what's cool is if you're online, if you set a waypoint, everybody sees that waypoint.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, it's really neat the way that works, which kind of like the Division. The biggest thing that's difficult to get used to is you don't press a button to get on cover. You walk into cover and it's auto.
Okay.
That being said, everything in this game can be destroyed. So if you are sitting behind a barrel and the barrel gets shot, you now don't have cover.
But are you still crouched like you're in cover?
You automatically get up.
Okay.
Which is cool. But if you're driving a vehicle, you can drive over barriers and stuff and they'll break. You can drive over trees and they'll break.
Can you, now when you really do say, like, do you also mean like you could drive in a building and the building will get fucked up? That's what
it'll be dented if it's like a metallic garage, but most of the vehicles that you have there aren't really going to do much to it.
But I'm saying like if you shot an RPG at the side of a house.
Don't know yet. I haven't gotten that far.
Got it.
I don't have an RPG yet.
Because you're just saying destructible. Like, I know what you mean.
But, I mean,
from at least the basic ground stuff, yes.
Yeah.
But I'm just talking about, like, if you shot, like, or if you threw a C4 in a building and tried to, like, blow up a corner of the building.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know that yet.
Yeah.
But you can destroy...
I feel like not. Just
I would assume
from the gameplay even I haven't seen.
The other really cool thing about the game, there's 2 mechanics that are very interesting. You can swim.
Okay,
so
that's good.
Yeah, and
God forbid you fell in the fucking water.
And you can stealth swim. So you could swim underwater so that you can get to different places that people can't see you.
That's cool.
There's also a wanted level. There's the Unidad soldiers, which are pretty much cops that are bought out by this cartel.
Okay.
And there's different areas where you have to go get certain things for the people that you're helping, which is a joint task force between multiple different countries.
Cool.
There are times where if you are seen by one of these officers, if you kill them quick enough, they're dead, which you can also do stealth kills, which is really cool. You get an achievement for doing it in the dark.
Cool.
You will get a wanted level, and the higher your wanted level, it's like Grand Theft Auto. You have to escape the cops, and you can do anything you want to escape the cops.
Yeah.
You can get in a plane, a boat, whatever.
Yeah.
And it all works the same. Yeah, it all works the same. But it's very unique the way that they're combining essentially the Division with Grand Theft Auto. The other really cool thing that I like is when you get to a mission, you're not restricted to somebody teleporting to said mission. We did a mission last night where me and the one guy went up closer to the base. The other guy stayed behind about 450 meters with an advanced sniper and was taking people out while we were going in.
Stealth,
and it felt like I was in the middle of an action movie.
Cool.
Like it was It is legit.
Yeah.
I recommend this to anybody that wants to play any kind of military shooter.
That's cool. That's awesome.
It is a lot better than I assumed. I'm very glad that I bought it.
And it's really good too, because you can do a 4-player squad. So
yes.
and
you can also, what's really cool is you can go on to the Ubisoft network, onto the Ghost Recon network, and you can create a task force. You can name it whatever you want.
So it's kind of like a clan?
Essentially.
Okay.
But you can have as many people on it as you want.
Yeah, so like a clan. Yeah. It's not limited to your 4 people.
Right, and when they're on, they're automatically doing stuff for you guys. So your task force gets you play points.
That's so
and gets
sick.
stuff like that. So that being said, eventually there's going to be a 4v4 like online mode.
Like a versus?
Yes. Yep, they're eventually introducing that. That's going to be a free update that comes later. Having this task force, having your name recognized with stuff, if me, you, and 2 other people are doing this 4v4, the other 8 people in our task force are all going to get a win because we won.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. So
do they get an L?
Yes, if we lose, they get an L.
Okay.
It's because it's all based off the task force themselves.
So
it is really cool. But you can have a motto and everything, and you can design different things for yourself.
That's awesome.
And the character customization is awesome.
Now let me ask you this though: is it a game? So say, because you were just saying that you were playing with people, right?
Yep.
And I've been interested about partially getting the game. I probably won't get it just right now, just because with all the games I've been playing currently.
Yeah, there's a lot of games.
And then also, I mean, like, especially too, because we have Mass Effect coming down the road, and I really want to try to get through Breath of the Wild
before Mass Effect.
Before
I'm
Mass
the
Effect.
same way.
And then for me, right, even Mass Effect for me personally is going to feel a little bit rushed because I have Persona on the 4th.
For me, I don't have anything except Yooka-Laylee between that and Injustice. So I've got.
So yeah, you got plenty of time.
And Prey. Prey's the beginning of May.
Yep.
Yeah. I forgot about that.
Yep.
I have that.
Prey's a sneaky one.
Yeah.
That game has been in such a weird
development.
Yeah.
But Arcane Studios is going to do it justice. So
hopefully.
I'm happy. Yeah.
Allegedly.
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 That's our buzzword for this episode. Every time you hear us say allegedly, which we just said it like 5 times, take a shot.
Jesus Christ. No, that's not a good one.
Unless you're underage, don't do that.
Yeah, that's
bad.
That's not a good one.
Naughty. Don't do that.
If you're underage, don't listen to this podcast. What are you doing? What are you doing? Go outside. If you're underage, go play in a yard.
Play basketball.
What are you doing?
Yeah.
No, fuck basketball.
Whoa. Hey, man.
That's a conversation for a different day.
You want to throw down right now? Let's go.
Is that what we're doing?
Yep.
No video?
I will drop 3s on you.
No.
You hear that?
No.
See, that's what that was. I just dropped a 3.
No video at all to prove any type of evidence.
No, they heard the Kush. What are you talking about? Right there. There was another one. What do you mean?
Kush is the wrong word. Is the wrong... I'm just saying that.
Right there.
For the record,
right
though.
There was not. No, stop.
Yeah,
no. They're underage. They don't know what Kush is.
All right, old man Jenkins. These young hooligans don't know. In our day, Kush was... But Grandpa, I thought Kush is when you make the 3s. Oh God. So
what were we talking about?
Yeah, good Lord. Wildlands.
Yes, yeah.
What I was going to ask you
right away.
What I was going to ask you though was, so you're giving an 8 out of 10. You would recommend it for people, which is great.
Yes.
Now the really big question though is, say you did not have anyone to play with.
That's cool. You get 3 NPCs.
And do they work well?
They do. It is still fun to play on your own. It's a lot more fun and interactive when you have people with you.
Okay.
But you have a whole wheel of commands.
So it is very diverse.
Yes. You are the squad leader.
Like, you literally go like, hey, snipe this fucking dude in like 10 seconds.
Yeah, essentially.
Got it.
There are, I think, 24 commands total that you can have between this wheel.
Are they pretty accessible?
Yeah, it's just a right or left bumper.
Got it.
But you press that. There's a whole wheel for you to go through.
Okay.
And you just select it with the right stick. And you can either do it for a whole squad, or you can do one that's
for
like
one person.
Yeah, I'm gonna tag 3 people, and so you tag 3 people, and then there's a countdown, and when the countdown goes to 3 NPCs fire, and you go in.
It's cool.
Very, very squad based, and you are squad leader.
That is cool.
And which is why it works so well when you have other people, because they can, everybody can agree on different things. Like, this is the first game ever that I've actually...
You're really going over a mission plan.
Yes. Like, and you were
literally
forced, like, we were all on the helicopter each time.
And then that's cool, though, because if somebody fucks up, though, it's that pivotal moment of 3 people go, shit, and then like everybody's like going. Like,
and it was just like, oh fuck. So it was great. But the cool thing is you can revive people.
Okay.
So they either have it depends on
what they are.
Yeah, and the game also has like timing. So you might get to a point where you have a really good death time because now you only have a 5-second respawn.
Okay.
Or you could die 6 seconds after that respawn timer would have been there. Now you have a whole minute to wait.
Got it.
So it is kind of finicky the way it does that. But you can be revived within that time period.
Okay.
And if you are, you just hop right back up.
So let me say that. So if you give it an 8 out of 10 in general, let's break it up into multiplayer and single player. Just for if people say they want
single player, I give it a 6.
6 out of 10?
Yes. Reason being is because it's not nearly as fun.
Got it. And that's just because of the camaraderie. It's planning that out and going through
it's just because
Got it.
It is a game that's meant for teamwork.
It is definitely a squad-based game.
Yes.
100%. Okay.
I'd give it probably, if we're just talking multiplayer, aside from the shitty controls, I give it a 9 out of 10 because the controls are very shitty for when it's driving.
Yeah,
it is a very different experience.
Those driving really. Now, let me say this though: is driving. Can you fast travel at all?
No, not that I've found so far.
But you've explored at least a pretty decent part of the first.
Yeah, the first area. Yeah. Now, I don't want to fast travel. This game makes you not want to.
Okay. But I'm saying if the driving is bad.
Yeah,
you know
I mean,
the
other thing too is maybe once after I get out of the first region, then maybe there will be fast travel between them, which I could totally understand.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time,
based on how vast the areas are,
there are so many little things in between, and there's different things that you pick up, like voice recordings and messages, just like collectibles and stuff like that, that help the intel. And the more that you get them, the more missions they open up.
Okay, that's pretty cool.
And in doing that, if you fast travel, you're gonna miss a lot of that. So I don't.
So you want to explore?
Yes, this game makes you not want to.
As much as your mission running, gunning and stuff. You want to check your area.
The other thing is this game can change depending on how you do this mission. So one of the missions we had to capture somebody and interrogate him.
Got it.
I killed him. I never interrogated him.
Did you do it purposely?
No, I accidentally hit the wrong button. But
you're just like, come here, man. Shit.
Pretty much. Fuck. Well, you picked them up and you could assassinate him, and I accidentally assassinated him.
You were just like, fuck this bitch.
I was just like,
break his goddamn neck, catch this guy.
That now opened 3 more missions because we fucked up.
Yeah.
So we didn't get interrogate this guy, and he was our key to finding this other guy. So now we have to go find this guy to find this guy to find this guy to then get to the same guy we were trying to earlier.
That you could have easily just by interrogating him, but shit happened.
So it is
cool.
It is very interesting the way that they do this.
That is cool. It's very dynamic like that because it's evolving.
Yeah, the game is constantly moving.
That's cool.
And based off of what I see so far with mission lists and side quests and stuff, it is very long.
Okay, good.
So this has a lot of replayability. By the time this stuff for the season pass comes out, I won't even be done.
Wow.
Yeah, the first part of the season pass I believe comes out in the summer. But if I was just playing this game between now and then, played maybe 3 hours a day with the same people, I wouldn't be done.
Wow.
Yeah, there's crazy. A lot to do. There's a lot to collect.
You usually play a lot longer though.
Yeah.
You usually do like 8-hour sessions.
But if it was going to be 3...
I see what you're saying. For a casual gamer going in for those daily meetups.
And if you wanted to do the same group, like, I don't plan on playing this game without the other 2 people I started with.
Yes, yeah. Like, you guys are all doing the squad together in unison through almost the entire game.
Yeah, so I'd like to not do it without them. But what's cool, and this is where it gets even better... You have separate campaign slots.
That is exactly what I was just going to ask you.
So if you want to do this whole game by yourself, if you want to do this game as part of another squad, you can have separate save files so that everything is different for each squad.
That's cool.
Which also then means every time you play this game, it's a different experience.
Yeah, because you could just be like...
And there is also the day and night cycle, which is really cool. So if you prefer to do stuff at night, go around and find collectibles during the day, and at night go do your main mission so people can't see you.
That's cool.
And you can take out lights... so areas get darker. Yeah, it's amazing.
That's sweet.
Absolutely recommend it.
That's
awesome. Absolutely fantastic.
Good. I'm
really
glad
I bought it.
I was about to say we were both a little nervous about talking about it.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
It looked cool, and half the time when I look at a game and I'm like, that looks like it's going to be awesome. Most of the time it's a piece of shit.
Well, yeah, that's how it's been. I feel like that's been a big thing for a generation lately, and it's shitty. I don't want to be negative, but it's just how the gaming trend has been. I've been more disappointed then appeased.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
And I think 2017 is going to help turn that around because I think Mass Effect's going to be great.
I'm putting all my faith in it, man.
Yep. And so far, Ghost Recon's great.
Yep.
Zelda is great.
Yep.
The Marvel vs. Capcom remake that came out yesterday
God.
is great.
Such a
Resident
fucking
Evil
fanboy.
was great.
Yep.
Like there's a lot of great games.
Yeah, there has definitely been more good games than bad this year.
Yes. Absolutely.
Already, yes. 100%.
So, but let's talk about Marvel vs. Capcom. We both bought it.
Yep.
We've already both played it.
It got remade on next gen.
I can't play it because it's 60 frames per second. It runs too smoothly, so I'm not good at it. Give me the 30 frames per second and I'll kick your ass. But you kick my ass now that we're in 60 frames per second.
Hey, we have a good back and forth. There is not...
Because we go random.
It is not... Yes. Yeah.
If we picked our own team, I'd die every time.
Hey, let's not be a little bit crazy. Listen, Virgil's my boy. All right, listen, I cannot deny the abuse he has with that character. No, I'm so fucking enjoying it. We should probably give people a heads up too that we will probably, because we're gonna post this tonight, right? I'm assuming.
Tonight, tomorrow, depending on upload times.
But either way, we're gonna live stream on the 10th.
Yes.
So
at
just for
around
anybody
9:30.
listening. Yeah.
Both Marvel vs. Capcom and Wildlands.
Yes.
So you will get to see me geek out over that with
topics.
Yeah. With our two friends.
Yes. So that'll be cool.
Yeah, we will introduce later.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that'll be fun. But no, yeah, so I'm having a blast. The frame rate, 60 frames. The frame rate doesn't drop too much. The only issue that I had the first day I played it was occasional online lag.
Yes.
Now, here's the thing, though, and I've heard this from multiple people, and I did get to check it out for a little bit today, was when I was playing it, the internet lag was a little strong. It was probably like every third match I was having some type of issue.
And it wasn't too bad.
No, but it was enough though where if you are in the middle of a match, it stops. Like
the other thing that I noticed too is sometimes the start of game is delayed.
Yes.
And that doesn't matter how good your internet is.
Yeah.
It went 3, 2, 1.
Now,
fight.
yeah.
It was like okay.
No, but what I heard from a couple different rumors, though, was on PlayStation and on Xbox, both servers, just in general, were having issues day one.
Yeah.
But I even checked it out this morning, ran 60 frames, smooth, online, playing with random people, and it ran perfect.
Yeah.
Like, the entire battle. It's just really good. I actually, it sounds so funny because, I mean, there is so many new games that we're talking about, like with Breath of the Wild and stuff. But like I said, for me personally, I love fighting games. I'm not good at them, but I really aspire to be. And
yes.
Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom is one of those games where I've just always put a fuck ton of time in. So it shows how much time, but there is such a gap of where, I should be as opposed to where I'm at. You know what I mean? So... That's not one thing.
That Marvel vs. Capcom is one of my favorites because it is so much quicker. It is a lot faster than other games. Like, I can't play Street Fighter because it's not that quick.
Mm-hmm.
I can't play Mortal Kombat or Injustice. Injustice I'm cool with because Injustice is DC characters and I like the whole superhero thing.
Yeah.
But the only other game, the fighting game that I'm decent at is Dead or Alive. And that is relatively quick.
Yes.
But Marvel vs. Capcom is by far the quickest.
Yeah.
You're just bouncing all over the place, left, right,
it's
up, down.
Bananas. And it just has the best roster of characters. It's it's so versatile. Which is why
I'm so excited for Infinite.
Yeah.
I just cannot wait.
Yeah.
It's going to be pretty bonkers.
Well, and the matches too are going to be so much quicker because it's only 2 characters. You're only picking out. They're going back to how it was for the first one.
Or the first one.
That's the first one, where it was only 2 characters.
Yeah. Which will be a lot. I think it'll be a lot better because I think what they can do now is, and it's been rumored for a while, hasn't been confirmed, but there are rumors going around that depending on what characters you pick, there are different types of tag teams.
No, there is.
Yeah, so you can have Spider-Man jumping off of Captain America's shield, pushing him up, or Ryu and Ken doing a combo.
Shoryuken or Hadouken or something.
Yeah, so I'm definitely looking forward to what this is bringing to the table.
Yeah. No, I'm super excited. The only thing I'm a little worried about is I just hope it doesn't slow down.
I don't think it will. Based off the gameplay that I've seen, it looks a little slower.
It does look slow. Like, for me, just at least so far from what I've seen, it looks significantly slower.
I wouldn't say significantly. I think air combos are going to be harder to do.
Yes.
But, so it's going to be less of a juggler, but it's 10 times faster than Mortal Kombat.
Oh, yes. That, absolutely. But I will say, like, I just don't know. I play that game for, like, flashy, loud, and fast. And I want it to be that same thing.
Yes.
Because they have a good formula.
Yeah.
I don't need them to change it.
Nope.
I have literally the...
I also really want a story mode.
They have to have
I would love a story
They
mode.
have to have one with Thanos because of the Infinity Gauntlet and the Infinity Stones.
Well, I mean, there was kind of a storyline with Galactus in the third one.
Yes. Oh,
but
yeah.
I want like a real story mode.
Yeah.
Where we see cutscenes and people.
Well, and also too, like, characters going through different stories.
Yes.
Because even in Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom, we only really get just ending cutscenes that link other characters to other characters because they become like the best.
Yeah, like when Ghost Rider takes Dante and Morgan to Hell to see Mephisto, and Chris and Jill take Hulk on a rampage through the Raccoon City mansion.
Yeah, or like when Bond takes Sentinel and turns him into a surfer bot.
Yes, that's awesome.
I love stuff like that. I love those.
Great.
Those are pretty sick.
Yeah, they're neat. Did you read the prequel comic?
Yes, I did.
Yeah, I love the prequel.
Yeah,
comic.
I thought it was cool.
Fantastic.
But yeah, like it's just good. I can't wait to really get back into it. I am still tied between Zelda and everything else, so that's just where right now I really want to sink back down with games again, but it's just it's tough just with life and everything that's going on right now for me. But yeah, I definitely my main goal, because I've beaten one of the major bosses of Zelda without trying to like even spoil the number and how many and shit, because spoilers. My goal is to beat 2 more of the major bosses by like a week from now.
Yeah,
I think that's a tangible goal.
I have off from my job next week on Tuesday and Thursday. So
yeah, there you go.
I'm gonna completely
just no life it.
Yep, I'm just gonna like melt my face into Zelda.
Yeah, that's the game plan for me. So
like we said earlier, I personally have to finish Zelda before Mass Effect. Because as soon as Mass Effect comes out, I'm not gonna have a life.
Yeah, and especially because it's on Xbox.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yep.
Speaking of which, next week hopefully we'll do the pre-Mass Effect show. Which will be another one of our little overtime segments. We'll have a special guest announced later at that point.
Yes.
So that'll be something to look
forward to. That's why
we keep like mentioning Mass Effect, but not really talking about it, because we have like a whole thing dedicated
We're definitely gonna dedicate our own time to it. Yeah.
Mass Effect is a huge thing. Like, obviously Zelda's huge, the Switch is huge, but Mass Effect is gigantic. It's the first one in 5 years. And it's just, so
it's gonna be great.
Mass Effect deserves its own
That's a game, I mean, like, there's very few games even talked about this year that I'm like, that is one of them. And then immediately, for me personally, the next biggest game, like, for me personally, my game of the year is coming out right after, which is Persona.
Yep.
And that is,
so far, I don't have one of those.
Man.
I kind of do, with Injustice, but Injustice won't last me that long.
Yeah, I have to, I'm gonna have to compile a goddamn dictionary's worth of, like, shit I'm gonna have to go into with that game.
Yeah. Mass Effect is just, there's so much to do.
Yeah, there's so much.
And based off what we've seen so far, it's gonna be a hefty chunk of my life.
Oh yeah, 100%. That's pretty much game talk, right?
Yeah.
I mean, a couple other things. I mean, like, we brought up Injustice.
Yep.
Nier also came out.
And Nier got pretty solid reviews.
Yeah, Nier got really solid reviews from the same people who did like Drakengard 3 and obviously the original Nier. But yeah, I like it a lot. They have a bunch of different, like, I'm not gonna say that. I was gonna say a cool thing about it, but it's gonna spoil it.
Yeah, don't do that.
Combat is very cool.
Yes.
Diversity in what you can do is cool.
Graphics are pretty amazing.
Graphics are really good. The way people respawn is creative. I'm not gonna go into it, but it is very creative. The story is fucking weird, and you're not gonna understand it.
Nope, not at all.
But you'll enjoy the ride while you're doing it.
Yep.
Mechanics are good. All of it's good. It's fucking top to bottom. I know I'm kind of like really gisting this game. If you want to hear if you want to hear us really go more into this one, please like let us know with comments.
Let us know.
Yeah. But yeah, just like I said, it's just kind of, especially with everything else out, it was solid. I enjoyed playing it. I loved where the story went. and yeah, and that's where I'm at with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Another couple quick gaming news stuff. Square Enix is going to publish a game called Battalion 1944. This game was a very small game. It was on a Kickstarter for a while. It was going to be a multiplayer game just on PC, but Square Enix picked it up to publish it for PS4, Xbox One, and PC. So yeah, so that's cool. But the biggest gaming thing is the new PS4 update.
Yes.
So the 4.5 is out now.
Thank God.
Yeah.
Well, it actually came out way sooner than I thought. I thought this wasn't going to drop till like April.
Yeah, same.
Yeah.
So the biggest thing is the external hard drive support, which it goes up to 8 terabytes, which is pretty fantastic. There's different things for VR. It now has improved 2D images on VR, which I guess was a big thing.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's, I guess things look
neat.
Less photoshopped.
Yeah, okay.
Almost.
I hear you.
Voice chat.
The biggest thing is a hard drive.
Yes. Voice chat for remote play.
Okay.
Which is interesting. Off-console apps that you'll be able to use to talk to people and chat and different things, like the PlayStation app itself.
Got it.
Similar to like Xbox Smart Glass.
Oh, okay. That makes a lot of sense.
Boost mode on the PS4 Pro.
Boost?
Which is going to be essentially frame rate stability. It's not available on all titles.
Is it doing how, like when we were talking about like Horizon Zero Dawn?
Yes, same kind of thing.
Got it.
It's not available on all titles, even titles that are PlayStation 4 Pro enhanced. So they have to have another patch in order to do this.
Oh, great.
Yeah. That being said, the first game to do it, ready? Drum roll. Home run. Jesus.
Home run.
Home front.
Homer Simpson.
Home front. The Revolution.
God damn it.
Is the first game to do this. Why anybody asked for that, I don't know.
No one did.
Nobody.
That's the real problem. They go, fuck, we need to come out with a game that nobody gives a shit about to make it sound cool.
Yeah.
Home front. Homer.
Home run.
Homer. That might have been the problem. Maybe they started saying the wrong title, so they just committed. Home front. Home front.
Yeah.
It was like Horizon, but they home. Shit.
It's like, wow, that R and the I really look like an M. Let's make that a thing.
Oh shit.
Yeah. Okay. So the other big thing with PlayStation is Uncharted. I want to talk about a little bit. I'm the biggest Uncharted fan of the world. I have a tattoo.
You do
for Uncharted,
which no one can see right now.
No, nobody. I pulled up my sleeve anyway.
Yeah.
So Uncharted has the new Lost Legacy coming out, which is, as everybody assumed, was DLC. Turns out it's not.
Yeah, no,
it's a game.
I thought it was, and I'm not trying to be that guy. I really did think it was a full game from the beginning.
Well, the only thing I'm disappointed now is there's no single player story add-on part of the triple play that I paid for.
Oh, or triple play, got it.
Yeah, I paid for that, and now I don't get it. So hopefully there's like a discount off the game that I get or something.
Yeah.
Or that maybe that's still coming. I don't know.
Maybe.
But
an extended chapter maybe for
yeah. This is going to be a much smaller scope game. It's one location. It's in India. It's just Chloe and Nadine. There's no other characters that are from Uncharted that we'll see.
Got it. Well, yeah, because everybody else was doing shit
right
throughout the games.
Yep.
Yeah.
So this is definitely a physical release that we're getting. In an interview that Game Informer did with Naughty Dog,
which was today.
Yes. Yeah. The lead director says that it is shipping 2017, which to that makes me think physical release.
Yeah.
So physical release in 2017. It's definitely more narrative driven, and it's still.
That's how it usually is.
Yeah, but it's the wide open areas, but it's definitely a smaller scope. So there's not like, hey, there's this big organization doing this crazy thing over here.
Yeah, it's way more dumbed down.
Yeah, it's just, hey, this is like what you're doing.
Yep, there's a main rival, kick his ass.
Yep.
He has one group of people, go through them.
This is the last Uncharted that is currently in development. They do not have plans for more. However,
because they did kind of wrap it up.
Yes.
Honestly, they wrapped it up well with.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
However, they did say that new games are not off the table.
Of course not.
With the fact that there are so many characters in this universe to dwell
yeah,
on.
they could pick it up wherever.
The other big thing that I noticed in the game that's something that hasn't been in Uncharted before, during a gameplay video they shared during this interview, there's lock picking.
Oh.
Lock picking has never been a part of Uncharted before.
Yeah.
Very interesting, very different.
Which is funny because you think it would be.
Yeah. So I'm very interested to see how that works. Like if you have lockpicks, if you have to find them, if they break. Stuff like that.
Maybe it's just a small mini game thing. Who knows?
This is also the last thing the co-president of Naughty Dog will be a part of. He left. He was co-president, co-founder of Naughty Dog. He peaced out. He's going to do a couple other gaming things. He's leaving, in his words, he's leaving Naughty Dog in good hands.
Got it.
So he can go focus on other things, build up other studios, and make other games.
Huh.
Didn't say that he doesn't want to ever be part of it again, but
interesting.
So
especially for Naughty Dog, it's
after 14 years.
Well, after 14 years,
he was there for 14 years.
You're gonna leave before Last of Us 2 comes out?
Yeah.
I
think he's the one that helped it get off the ground, and now he's just gonna leave, and they'll have something else. So it's very, very interesting.
I want him to just go somewhere else and be like Jack and Daxter.
Yeah, right. Be like, hey, this is a thing.
This is my new.
He
thing.
secretly takes all those rights with him.
Yes.
So that's pretty much it for gaming news. We have Orisa coming up in Overwatch, as well as a whole bunch of stuff that they're working on in the PTR.
Dude, the new character looks fucking.
I don't want to talk about it yet, though. The reason I don't want to talk about it is because they've already done
reworks.
Yeah.
Well, they've already done reworks a lot in PTR. So how about this? We'll bench it for when the character is at least out
live. Yeah.
Yes.
But it's a thing.
We'll probably do a
Orisa
live
is a new
stream.
character. Yeah.
At some point, when the character's out, we'll definitely.
Orisa is a character made by Ify,
Yep.
the little girl that they keep referencing, the 11-year-old that's like a genius.
After the conflict with Doomfist.
Yes.
So
that being said, Doomfist is
going
happening.
to be a character.
Right, but he's also happening.
Yeah, the event is also leading toward that as well.
Yeah. And everything else in Overwatch is something that they reference from the past. Yeah. This is a current event.
So this is the first time this is happening live,
yeah.
essentially.
So we are watching this playthrough. Yeah. And Orisa is a character that was built so because of
to counteract the Doomfist incident.
Right, but because of that, none of our heroes know who she is.
Yeah. So the conversations I'm hoping too in between them are going to be like new.
Yeah,
like
absolutely.
Who are you? Or
it's like, where did you come from? Yeah. I also really want to have an interesting conversation take place between Bastion and Orisa. I think that'll be very interesting. Or Zenyatta.
That's what I was going to say. I was going to say Zenyatta because Bastion will be like boop boop beep,
right,
and then do not do.
However, Bastion might be able to do that, and Orisa might be able to translate.
Yeah,
that was my thought process. We might be able to understand what he's saying now.
I feel like they wouldn't understand, but I feel like it would be like something funny.
Yeah,
like, oh no, I can't believe you said that. In front of, like someone like else. Like, oh no.
Yes, it'd be pretty neat.
Oh dear.
But once we get more on that, we will.
Yes.
Dive more into that because I can't even give a reaction if they keep changing the character.
Well, I was just gonna say because the latest update that they just did was they took her magazine clip from 200 to 150.
Yes.
And that was big. That's a big change.
That's a big change.
That's a big change for day 4.
Yeah.
Like, holy fuck. So, but she seems great.
Oh, absolutely.
A great character idea. Love the way the character's set up. The only
first 4-legged character.
Yep. But actually, I'm glad you brought that up. The one thing I'm worried about is the hitbox.
Yes.
Hitbox is going to be big. At the same time, she is a bubble-dropping tank. So she is going to be able to take damage.
Yes.
But yet again, it's definitely, I feel like it's one of those characters where if you place the right stuff for the right... The only thing I don't know, I secretly wish the ult would be more like Symmetra's, where if you put it in a spot, as long as it's in a radius, but no, it has to be... The ult drop thing has to visually be able to see the characters.
Yes.
It has a 360-degree view, but it has to have the character in its sight.
Right, so if you go behind a wall,
you're fucked. Or especially, too, like, another thing that I find annoying is... I can't think of the map right now. It's the God, I'm gonna rain here for 10 seconds. It's the like almost kind of metal looking base, and you capture the one point, and then there's the other point, and then there's that glass almost wall in front of it with the 2 elevators going up, and then
Sky Industries.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So that could be a really big problem because say you do that push behind that first wall and that second point.
Yep.
Let's say somebody walks in front of the lift thing that's just right there.
Yep.
And then they're not in sight. And say that's a Soldier 76 popping ult.
Yep.
And he just
screwed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Same thing could be said for Temple of Anubis on the second point.
Yes.
Because there's the stairs.
The stairs.
So if they can't see past the stairs, you're screwed.
Yeah.
Same thing with Oasis. too,
Yeah.
especially in the big circular point.
Mhm.
That whole big circular point. If it's most of that's
And
walls.
you can't even put it in the center because then it only has the 2
yeah.
openings.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is very limited.
Yeah.
So
it's not as OP as everybody keeps saying it's
no,
going to be.
it's definitely not. I mean, like, from what I've heard, though, too, it is essentially like an Anna buff.
Yes.
For multiple characters. Also, Anna got nerfed.
Yes, Anna got hard.
Anna got horrifically nerfed. And what actually surprises me a lot is, don't get me wrong, I've noticed you and me have had quite a few issues with Anna, but I do not think she should have got nerfed this hardcore.
Yeah.
I honestly, the only thing I wanted to see was a nerf on the sleep dart.
Yeah,
that's it. They nerfed her whole character dynamic, and
everything's
like,
different.
Her damage output is even smaller, which I was like, I didn't even think.
The debuff rates. The healing rate, everything.
And to be honest, I didn't think her damage rate was that high.
No, I
wasn't getting murked or decimated by, like,
I feel like she's almost going to be useless.
Well, here's what I feel like. I feel like they did this not because of R tier. I think they did this because of, like, challenger players.
Yeah.
Like, insta-locking Anna and then just, like, being that essential... I, like, hit the 2 characters, make the calculated push.
Yeah.
And Overwatch was like, we have to have different characters and different dynamics. Because I think Anna... Because I main Zenyatta.
Right.
But I'll be honest, as a pro scale level, it makes more sense to play Anna.
Right.
Because Anna has way more range.
Yep.
She's meant to be a sniper. You're still at that long distance. You know what I mean? You can still debuff characters, and actually you can debuff multiple characters faster.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So, you know, when you look at it that way, it makes more sense. But Zenny's my boy, and I'm never going to diss my boy. But that's what happened. So now I feel like there is a more even playing field. For, like, Zenyatta, for example, now. Because, you know what I mean? They're not changing my boy, because you can't change him because he's God. But they're not changing my Nutcracker. They won't do it. I won't allow it. No, but yeah, no, we will definitely really go into a full explanation once the character's actually out. But first impression thoughts, super excited.
Yes,
looks
absolutely.
Great. Looks great.
Yeah.
Want to see actually how she plays and, like, in competitive scenes. And...
Also very excited for the fact that less than 2 months away, or a little more than 2 months away. Sorry, I was getting the wrong date. A little more than 2 months away is the 1st year anniversary.
Yes.
So
which I'm hoping is going to be some cool celebration.
Yeah, very exciting to see what they might do.
Yep. Still secretly hoping for St. Patty's Day skins.
Yes. Yeah, I mean, that's super soon.
Mm-hmm.
So, and Orisa is the colors of St. Patrick's Day. So, maybe we get her live on St. Patrick's Day?
That'd be
pretty dope.
Interesting.
Right after St. Patrick's
With
Day,
the skin packs?
Yeah, with the skin packs. Hey. So, yes, that'd be cool. But there are a couple other things we want to talk about real quick.
Yes.
Other than games.
What?
Yeah, right? It's like, what? It's like, all right, click unsubscribe. So, Logan.
Yes.
So we both saw Logan.
We did. Differently, but we both saw.
Yes. Yeah. Not going to spoil anything.
Nope.
If you've ever seen any movie ever, you'll like this. Go watch it.
Is that your overall review?
Yes, that's my overall review.
Okay.
I think it's fantastic. There are parts in this film that bug me a little bit. After, I don't know, maybe 3 or 4 weeks, maybe I'll dive into some of that stuff.
Yeah.
That was iffy. There were just a couple things that weren't necessarily feasible within like the advancements in the movie.
There's one big thing with the main villain, in air quotes.
Yes. Yeah.
They could have just went a different direction.
There was also
which I got because of what happened in the movie.
Yes.
But I was very frustrated that they almost intentionally just did that just to have that moment and then go like, well, he's in the rest of the movie now. Like, I was just kind of like,
oh, okay.
Yep.
Also, I'm going to say one word, and I'm sure you'll figure it out. The phone.
Yes.
Yeah. That,
Yep.
bothered me a lot.
That's understandable.
And that's not spoiling anything. If you see it, maybe you'll understand. If not, then, it's whatever. It's not the biggest thing in the world. It didn't make any sense.
Yeah.
In the way that it was done. That being said, the movie's fantastic.
Very good.
Without spoiling anything, there were tears that were shed a couple times.
It is also very R.
Yes, it is a very R-rated film.
100% R. I mean,
Yeah.
like, when I even was first watching it, even the first scene out the gate is very gory.
Yeah.
And you're just like, okay. And then in the back of my mind, I was like, okay. That's just, okay,
And
they need to get the
just,
R rating out of the way.
Yep.
No. It stays bloody
R.
and gory, and they throw about 36 F-bombs a minute. There is a lot of F-bombs throughout.
Fuck, shit,
Yeah.
fuck, ah.
It is Old Man Phoenix throughout this entire goddamn thing. If only there was a Leviathan. If only.
Goddamn Leviathan!
There could have been.
That's a Gears of War reference to anybody that doesn't get that.
It could have been. It could have been great.
But yeah, I mean, it is a very powerful film.
And then the whole thing is the directors talked about doing a black and white rendition.
Yes, which will be on the Blu-ray.
How do you feel about that?
I'm excited.
I think it's cool.
The black and white for Mad Max was fantastic.
Yes.
And I think it's going to be the same kind of thing.
I think so.
There's a lot of scenes in this that I'm very interested to see in black and white.
How they look, yeah.
Yeah, I can't really talk about that.
Yeah,
scene.
Exactly. Yeah.
The casino hotel scene.
Yes.
That's all I can say.
Yeah.
I want to see that play out in black and white. I think that'll be really cool.
Yeah. I wonder if they'll show effects more.
Maybe.
Just a thought.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
So, okay, so that being said, what do you give it?
Are we doing out of 10?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I'm thinking.
Yeah, no, take it down.
No, I'm just like in the moment of silence for the listener. It's like
I put you on blast.
I'd probably give it a 9. Probably give it a 9 out of 10.
Same.
Yeah.
Yep, I give it a 9.
9 out of 10. A couple little gripes. Not even close to enough gripes though to ruin the experience.
No, absolutely not.
Not even a moment where I go, hey, because I did have a couple. I was like, but never enough to even take me out of the ride.
Yeah.
The ride was so good the whole way through.
Yep.
I was fully entranced and I was in it.
The girl that plays X-23, Daphne, I don't remember her last name off the top of my head. I think she's a great actress. She's very young. This is her first movie, first big movie. Anyway.
Yeah, well, definitely.
I can see her going places based off this film. I would like to see her return in the character.
Oh, yeah.
I definitely want to see that happen again.
When I do, well, nope, I'm not even going to bring that up.
Yeah.
Nope.
There's
so many topics.
Yes.
I need to avoid
There's
even bringing up.
one quote in the movie, which you'll get based off me saying this. It's very scientific from Professor X.
Yes.
And I think it was the greatest thing in the entire film.
Yeah.
It was just like, this is the greatest moment. Like it was a scientific explanation where if you've seen it, you know what I'm talking about. If you haven't, go see it because you need to know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
It's
movie's
fantastic.
great. You should absolutely check it out.
Yeah. Just don't take your kid.
No, don't do that. I was at the theater and there was a kid.
Yeah.
And I was like, this was a fucking wrong decision.
Yep.
Like, yeah.
I mean, it's not quite as bad as Deadpool. But it's still
pretty bad as Deadpool, honestly.
Yeah. Well, Deadpool has more sex jokes and shit.
Well, and there's actually sex in the movie.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's true. There's sex. Yeah.
Spoilers.
Yeah, right? But Logan doesn't have any of that. Kind of stuff.
Yeah,
it's
Logan's not banging
crude humor.
No.
It's just gory and language and claws going through heads.
It's brash.
Yeah.
Brash is the way I would describe it.
Yeah. Yeah, agreed.
Crude is the word I would use for Deadpool.
Yes.
Brash is the word I would use for Logan.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was great. Great fucking movie.
Yeah, absolutely.
I do want to see it though in a couple weeks to see if I feel differently.
Yeah.
Because every time
once the hype will be gone.
Yeah, and that's the thing too. Because I definitely get like that moviegoer thing where I look on a big screen. I'm like, oh wow! Like
that's what happened to me when I first saw Civil War. I was just like,
Civil War kicked ass.
Yeah, but at the time I was like, this is the greatest movie of all time. And then I saw it again. I'm like, all right, it's a Marvel movie. Like it's a good movie. It's not the greatest of all time. It's definitely good. And that's how I'm kind of with Logan.
Yeah.
Where it is at the time I was like, this is great.
I'm gonna put you on the spot here. Do you have a greatest movie of all time? You don't have to you don't have to have one. I'm just actually genuinely curious. If you have one, if you even have one offhand, do you have a top 3? Do you have a 3?
I can give a top 5.
Go for it.
Maybe. There's a lot more in there.
Nobody's quoting you on this.
I can give you.
I'll give you mine if that makes it easier.
I can give you a top 5 franchise, or a top 5 like grouping,
Got
I guess, off the top of my head. I will think about this and get back to you next time.
Yeah.
Fast and the Furious is up there.
Okay.
Just for the fact that
That's fucking hilarious.
yes, but listen, the original movies were great. As far as this is a street racing film, this is what this is. The first movie was fantastic with undercover cops and great stuff. Eventually, it became, this is a movie film that is nothing but ridiculous action for no reason.
It lost its way,
but it's still great. Yes. Watching
it is fun
tanks
to watch.
Fall out of skies and giant airplanes and
cars going from one building to another.
It's great. It is exciting.
It is It is a action.
It's stupid.
Movie. Yes,
but it's exciting.
It's a dumb movie.
It is definitely one that's up there. All the Marvel movies are up there. I can't really pick one that's
no.
better.
Just the quality in general. Yeah.
Probably
and it keeps getting better.
Yes.
So that's the thing too. It's gonna keep evolving for you.
Probably
because Guardians 2 might be like fucking the greatest thing ever.
Right now, the first Guardians is my favorite Marvel movie.
It is fucking amazing. Like I'm even surprised when I said that out of the gate. I was like, I fucking love this movie. And people are like, oh, and I'm like, this is just good.
It's fantastic.
It is perfect amount of humor. It's perfect amount of serious tone. They did the balance for it really well. Yeah, I loved it.
Lord of the Rings is up there.
Yep.
Harry Potter's up there.
Secretly, Lord of the Rings, I kept falling asleep. I'm not gonna lie. People might hate me for it. I'm being dead serious.
It was a lot to take in.
It's a lot.
But that.
But it was great though. I'm not dissing the franchise. The franchise is amazing.
Oh yeah, franchise is great.
Yeah, I'm just saying me personally. I kept going like, it was just my.
And I would probably say, if I had to put another franchise in there, probably The Matrix. Because I like The Matrix a lot. In terms of...
Why don't you just say the first movie?
Yeah, I mean, yes and no.
And the whole highway scene in the second movie.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Yeah, the third one didn't do too much.
Yeah. I wanted the third one to be better.
Yeah. That being said, if I had more time...
And I don't hate it, though. Like, I watched the whole thing. Oh, did you hear talks that... Speaking of that, you brought that up. Did you hear talks that they're thinking about picking it up?
Yes.
Keanu Reeves did some interview, and he said that there's, like... I didn't read the article because it even felt like a puff piece, but it was like Keanu Reeves would only come back to the Matrix under certain conditions.
Yeah.
And like only if the story got set up in this direction. I'm like, Keanu Reeves coming back, the bitch died. But maybe he didn't die. Maybe he just got carried away. And then it's like, you're really going to do the Jesus Christ Savior thing and then not have him die? And I was like, what the fuck? No, but I'm saying that's what it sacrificed himself for the great of all mankind.
Yeah. If
I had to... Neo was Jesus.
If I had more time to think about this, the list would be completely different.
Yeah.
Based off of how much fun I have at movies, it's the ones that I gave you.
Yeah.
Based off of movie quality and story and looking at it from like a cinema point of view, one of my favorite movies is probably Good Will Hunting.
Yeah, it's a great movie.
And it's definitely up there as one of my favorites. Multiple different reasons.
Yeah.
But the movie's great.
Well, here, let me do this. My favorite, at least for right now, today is the 9th.
Yep.
My favorite movie of all time, at least right now, like one movie I could watch top to bottom, backwards, sideways. I could watch it in a part. I could watch it every day for the rest of my life. Is Goodfellas.
Oh, Goodfellas is great. Absolutely.
Love that movie from top to bottom.
I knew that.
Yeah, I love that movie from top to bottom. Martin Scorsese cannot do wrong.
No.
In my mind.
Yeah, no.
There is not a single movie I've watched of his that I have not been super into. There's countless fucking movies that he has done. Another director who is almost bananas, batshit crazy, but just cannot not put out amazing fucking movies is Tarantino.
Oh, yeah.
Quentin Tarantino fucking kills it. And just his, like... it's so in your face sometimes, and then there's, like... Oh, it's so good.
Pulp Fiction, Kill Bill.
Kill Bill blew my fucking brain. I was just like, I did not know you could make such a new age, old school samurai revenge movie.
Yeah.
And fucking just own it. And he fucking owned it.
And he's good with that kind of shit.
Yo, and it's just like, even like if you heard out the gate, it's like this movie's so like fucking avant-garde. It's 2 parts. And you're just like, fuck that. Like just when you hear that out the gate, you're like, what? Fuck that. But then like you watch like part 1, you're like, when is part 2?
Yeah.
When
do I get this?
When is this happening?
Yeah. When is the finish? I need it.
Man, that's another. I could watch both those movies like,
If there was a movie out there that I would say based off of how many times I've watched it and how many quotes I can say from the movie, it's Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban. I watched that movie. I broke my leg in 5th grade, which is about the time that came out. I just gave my age to everybody.
Yeah, some backstory.
I'm
24. I said my age, beginning of this podcast. I'm 24.
I watched that movie almost every single night. Because I slept downstairs on the couch in the living room. I couldn't make it upstairs to my bedroom.
Was it on ABC Family?
It was.
I knew it was.
And then I got it on DVD. And then almost every night I watched it.
Yeah.
And I watched the other Harry Potter movies that time too. But I was a kid going through puberty. Emma Watson was hot. Just needed that movie every night. Yeah. That was it. Yep.
That sounds like more of another issue than a moviegoer's issue.
Nope. I needed the story. I needed the
You know what's really funny?
You know what's
really funny? I don't have a favorite Harry Potter movie, but Half-Blood Prince is by far my favorite Harry Potter book.
Yes. Agreed.
Like, by far. Because I got hit with... Because for me, I got Half-Blood Prince right when the book came out.
Yes.
And you hit that point at the end of the book where fucking Dumbledore gets axed, and you're just like, what? No. And then what was worse was we waited...
Spoilers.
Well, come on. No.
Hey, man, I'm going to spoil Titanic real quick. Jack doesn't make it on the plank of wood.
Even though he could have fit. He could have fit on that door, damn it. What's it called? Oh, Christ.
Oh, Jesus. I'm going to spoil Lion King real quick.
Stop. No! Stop! Lion King's coming back. There's a whole generation that's depending on that information.
Sorry.
Oh, God. Jesus Christ. Shit, what was I just talking about? I literally lost my train of thought entirely.
About how
Harry Potter. Harry Potter.
No,
but so the whole thing which made it so much more impactful in the books was we were then immediately, like, the next day I was like, what is Deathly Hallows? What is happening? What did Snape do? What the fuck? Like, what the hell? And then Deathly Hallows got, like, it was a year. So we waited a year. And then the script got leaked.
Yep.
Or the book. Sorry, the script. The book got leaked. And then she was like, fuck it, I'm not putting out the book. And then I was like, he fucking died! Give me the book! Like, I was just like, I was gonna kill somebody for that fucking book. And then finally I got it. And I never read a book faster in my life. I mean, I fucking just sat down and was like, mission. Like, I don't even think I enjoyed the read. I was just like...
I took 3 days off of school to read it.
Yeah.
Because I didn't want to do anything else.
Yeah. I read it in a day.
I have not read The Cursed Child yet.
I haven't either.
I don't know if
I'm not gonna lie. I have no desire to.
Yeah.
I have absolutely no desire to. I have not heard from a single Harry Potter fan to read it.
Yeah.
I've heard one person.
Go get it.
I was told from one person to read it to appreciate the franchise. For me, that's bullshit.
Yep. Nobody I don't see this as like you have to read this.
Exactly.
It's listen. It's another one.
Look, clearly, if I'm not hearing anyone talk about it, there's a reason.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. So a couple other things real quick. We need to talk about Thor.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. Entertainment Weekly did a piece on them there, the cover photo.
Yep.
A lot has changed.
A lot's going on.
Thor has short hair.
Yep.
Thor looks like Braveheart.
Yep.
He does not have his hammer. He's got swords.
Yep.
Kate Blanchett doesn't look her age at all.
No, yeah.
She looks like an early 20s chick that's emo as hella, and she literally looks like she's going to bring death to the entire cinematic universe. She looks terrifying.
Yeah, it looks awesome.
She also kind of looks hot.
Yeah.
Just saying.
There you go.
Mark Ruffalo talked a little bit in this piece, as well as the director. I can't say his name. I'm going to botch it. Taiki Waititi. Okay. Totally going to botch that. Anybody can correct me.
Yeah.
Don't know how to say it. He talked. Chris Hemsworth talked.
Yep.
We also got to see Jeff Goldblum as the Grandmaster.
Looks weird.
Yeah. But
makes sense.
The Grandmaster is the cousin of the Collector.
Yes.
So it makes sense the way he looks.
Yes, but he just does look weird.
Yeah.
But it makes sense.
But it totally makes sense.
He just looks weird.
Yeah. But the Collector kind of did too.
Yes, he did. Oh, yeah. That's
but they look the same.
Yeah.
So I'm pleased. And then Loki looks the same.
Yeah.
He didn't really change.
Nope. Same shit.
But during reading all this,
I'm glad he looks different. I'm glad for Thor's appearance change. I think he needed it.
Well, so Thor...
And some people didn't even ask for it, and it was like, oh, fuck, cool.
Yeah, it's like, whoa, this is awesome.
Yeah.
So Thor has this change because Loki pretending, spoilers for Dark World, Loki pretending to be Odin. Basically is what he's reckless.
Yes.
And he accidentally makes it so security on Hela is not as important.
Yes.
She comes back. She kicks Chris Hemsworth, or Thor, to Sakaar, which is basically a Colosseum gladiator planet. He's kicked there. He's stripped of his hammer, stripped of his hair. He becomes a gladiator, which is why he looks the way he does, and he's given swords. He goes through all these different enemies, finds out that Grandmaster and Valkyrie run this planet, and he goes through and fights all these different people, only to find out that the one and only Bruce Banner / the Hulk is the grand champion of this place.
This is hilarious.
The Hulk is going to be a fully intelligent character.
Yes.
Like Planet Hulk.
Yeah.
And World War Hulk, which is pretty great.
Mm-hmm.
And Mark Ruffalo said that we're going to see a side of him that we never see before. It's also teased that we won't see Mark Ruffalo in this movie. We do not see Banner. It is Hulk all the time.
Just Hulk, yeah.
Which is cool because that's eventually what happens in the comics.
Yeah.
So I'm excited to see, especially if they take him back to Earth.
At one point in the comics.
Yes, yeah, at one point.
I would like to just see a comfortable back and forth.
Yes. I want to see what happens when he goes back to Earth, where the sun does affect him and makes him have the different vitamins and the different neuro pathways and stuff that make him then turn back to Banner.
Metachlorines and what have you.
Yeah, definitely. The sun makes you happy, man. Endorphins get released.
Listen, man, Disney linked them now. Disney confirmed for Marvel's metachlorines. It's all under the goddamn mouse ears umbrella now.
Yeah, seriously.
It's all together.
Hulk with lightsaber. So that's happening. They did say that this movie is going to be a lot more fun.
Good.
And that Chris Hemsworth.
I'm going to be very interested though to see, because I guess it is just going to be that pitted, but like, I am going to find, because I mean, it would make more sense because Hulk did have a like derpy back and forth with Thor already with Avengers, so
so the director said that Chris Hemsworth is one of the funniest people alive. But
he is. I've heard that from everybody.
Yes, and nobody ever sees it in a film.
Yeah.
So he decided to utilize it, but he's also implementing the fact that this is a buddy ride. Like this is a cop buddy movie essentially, and the director took a lot of influence from Planes, Trains, and Automobiles.
Wow.
So I'm very excited to see how this plays out.
That's going to be fun.
Benedict Cumberbatch is in it as Doctor Strange.
Yep.
That is one of only 3 scenes that take place on Earth.
Okay.
Everything else is elsewhere.
Which makes sense.
Yeah, I'm very excited. This movie and Guardians will directly affect Infinity War.
Absolutely.
So I'm very excited to see how this plays out.
They're both going to be build-ups for it.
Yeah, and after Thor, the only movie in between Thor and Infinity War is Black Panther.
Yes.
Which I don't think is going to affect Infinity War as greatly as Thor and Guardians.
Yes.
It will definitely have an effect when it comes to Bucky and the Winter Soldier.
Oh, yeah.
So that's exciting.
Mm-hmm.
Going off more Marvel news, Iron Fist is getting pretty shitty reviews.
Really?
Not many people are into it. They say that the first 6...
It's a weird concept.
Yeah. Well, the first 6 episodes are up for all of them.
Okay.
It is already said he does not ever wear the costume.
So that's already bumming people out.
Yep, that's already disappointing. The first reactions to the first 6 episodes are that it's very boring, and it feels like an office kind of like white collar show. That was the name of that show, right? White Collar?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Very similar to that dynamic where the characters are, and there's like no character development at all. So I'm excited to see how that plays out. That's a week from tomorrow.
Okay.
That's March 17th. All episodes will be on Netflix. So I'm very.
Listen, I love Iron Fist as a character, but yeah, I mean, you can't. I mean, like, I'm just being that guy. You can't port everything.
Yeah, you can't.
You can't.
Now, in the Defenders.
Once he gets a costume and then starts going, like, you know what I mean?
In the Defenders, it might be different.
Yeah, absolutely. Once he has a team.
Yeah.
And then he can kind of get buried behind people who have actual fucking character development. Yeah. I mean, here's the thing.
But by himself, I don't know how much, because, I mean, he had his own comics, of course.
Yeah.
But his comics, he was more in the Heroes for Hire comics than anything else.
Exactly. So, he was usually with groups.
Yes, and essentially Power Man or Luke Cage, whatever you want to call him.
Yeah.
Which is why I'm excited for the Defenders.
Yes.
Because, yes, we're getting Luke Cage Season 2. I want a Heroes for Hire show.
Yeah.
I want it to just be the two of them.
Yeah.
I don't need anybody else. I don't need Daredevil or Jessica Jones. I just need the two of them.
Well,
that's all I want.
We want Jessica Jones and Daredevil. You just want them separate.
Right. Not.
I just want
I don't
you to
need
clarify.
Them. Yes.
Just to reiterate.
I don't need them all together like that.
I'm like, you worship Daredevil.
I do.
Yeah.
Daredevil's pretty fantastic.
Daredevil is life.
Yeah, I'm a devil worshiper. The Daredevil.
God damn.
I don't worship the devil. Just
for my moral compass in life, please.
I'm a very nice person.
Please, God.
Yeah, please feel free to talk to me. I'm not dangerous. I do not want you to die, I promise. Yeah, alright. So anyway, moving on. Last big thing that we have to talk about. We're both cracking up over here. Yeah. Anyway, last big thing that we have to talk about is Inhumans.
Yes.
They all got cast.
Yep.
So.
And let's be honest.
Most of these people I've never heard of.
Yeah.
We have Anson Mount, who was on the main character on Hell on Wheels. He's going to be Black Bolt.
Cool. With mask.
Yes, with mask. I don't know how to say this guy's name. Iwan Rehan. He's from Game of Thrones. He's playing Maximus, who is Black Bolt's brother.
Yep.
Serinda Swan, who is from Tron Legacy and the Percy Jackson movie. She's playing Medusa.
Can we get a Google on her?
Yeah.
I want to get a Google on that. That was the one person, which we probably should have looked at ahead of time.
Yeah, I wrote down their movies.
Yeah, I would.
Serinda Swan. She was.
I just need to see a picture of her face. Because I will say for all the listeners at home, because for Inhumans, the one character that I am very particular on is Medusa. That is the one character that, like, if they, in my opinion, if they fuck her up, the movie is lost.
She's played 6 different characters named Melissa. And 6 different things. This is great. It's just like thing Melissa in this. Thing Melissa in this. Yeah. She was Aphrodite in Percy Jackson, and she was Siren number 2 in Tron Legacy. She was Zatanna on Smallville, which is a pretty bigger role.
Yeah. Yeah, really.
But yeah, and that's
she was the magician.
Pretty much it.
Shit. Yeah, can I see your face?
Yeah.
I'm like, you're showing me all this shit. I'm like, yeah, that's great.
She was on Chicago Fire.
Yeah, listen. Okay, that could work.
Yeah. She could definitely work.
She does have that face.
Now, for anybody that's wondering, Medusa
face.
can use her hair as a weapon. It's like a limb, essentially. She can do it for whatever.
It's also like 3 times the size of her body.
Yes. Yeah, her hair is huge.
Her hair is fucking massive. She
is Black Bolt's wife.
Okay.
They're not married.
No.
But they're like king and queen.
Yes. That's where you want to go.
Yeah.
Yes. And their relationship and dynamic has changed in different comic iterations.
Yeah.
So and here's the problem. And this, like, people might argue with me on this, but I've read a lot of different comics, and Inhumans are one I've dabbled in quite a bit. I do not consider any stream of Inhumans like main.
Right. Yeah, there is really no main.
All of them are different iterations, and all of them are almost equally as important.
Yes.
Like,
however, that being said, the royal family is pretty much the same each time.
The characters are always the same.
Yes.
How they relate to one another
are different.
Exactly.
Yes.
Yes.
But
there's subtle changes. But,
they're big enough to count.
Yes.
The royal family they live in Atalan, which is a city on the moon.
Mm-hmm.
And they are pretty much the people that rule the Inhumans, which, as we've seen on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., are coming to light in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. In the movies, they're just called enhanced people.
Yes.
Haven't really been talked about too much. Yeah, so far. They do correlate back and forth. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is going to lead right into this, which this will have the first 2 episodes September 1st in IMAX, following a weekly episode 6 weeks afterwards on ABC. I'm not sure yet if it's going to take the place of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. or go into it or how it's going to work. But it's going to be this.
Well, how I feel about it.
Well, keep in mind, it's going to be the same type of filming done for the IMAX thing that was done for the TV show. So it's going to be essentially a movie just done in separate parts on TV. So I am okay with it. And I'm very excited about one particular member of the cast, Ken Ling, who is Karnak. And he was Miles on Lost, and Miles was my favorite character on Lost.
Ooh.
So I'm very excited to see how he does the role. Other characters, Mike I can't say his last name. He was
Do Re Mi.
yeah, he was on Empire.
Oh, okay.
And he's playing Triton. He was also Ryu on Street Fighter Assassin's Fist, for anybody that watched that.
Also, apologies for anyone who watched that.
There is... I can't say this guy's name either. I'm very bad at names. M.A. Ikwakwar?
Hold on.
Ikwarker?
Quark Industries?
Yeah.
Where?
Right there. M.A. Ikwakwar?
Yeah, that's the closest. I will give Jeremy confirmation on that. That's the closest we're gonna get.
He's playing
Or
Gorgon.
M. Might just be M.
It might just be M. He was in Concussion with Will Smith, which was a fairly okay movie.
I don't think I watched that one. Concussion?
Yeah, Concussion.
What
It was
was that
newer. I don't remember.
No idea.
It was a very forgettable movie.
I never watched it. Yeah.
It was right after like Focus came out.
Speaking of which, sorry, we're like breaking subject real quick. Do you see a new Netflix trailer for that new Will Smith movie?
Yes, I think it looks interesting.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
I think there's too much going on.
There's way too much going on.
Way too much going on. It's like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Sword, demons, fire.
Yep.
Hell escape.
Everywhere.
Apocalypse. Credits. And it's just like, what the fuck? What the fuck? What? What the shit?
Speaking of trailers, did you see the trailer for Geostorm?
No, not yet.
So it looks interesting.
If we're talking about trailers real quick, one though that I am very interested in is Atomic Blonde. Charlize Theron.
Oh yes.
Yo, she's doing work.
She is. Yeah. Plus she's in the new Fast and Furious movie.
Stop. With her white dreads. Get the fuck out.
We're all part of the family, dog.
God.
So 2 more cast members for.
Yeah, sorry.
It's okay. We keep going off.
Yes.
For Inhumans, Isabel Cornish is playing Crystal. She's from Home and Away. She didn't have a whole lot on IMDb.
Yeah.
But she is the youngest member of the Inhumans family. And then there's Sonia Balmores playing Auron, and she was in Soul Surfer. That was her big thing on IMDb. Most of these cast members haven't really done a whole lot before this.
But usually, I mean, that's where I feel like Marvel's doing that intentionally, though.
Yes.
It's getting a lot of
they
young
do a really
blood.
good job doing it. Also, the biggest part of this is Lockjaw will be in it.
He has to be.
Yeah, Lockjaw is a 2-ton bulldog.
Yes.
And I cannot wait to see him.
Lockjaw's like next to Medusa. Lockjaw's my favorite.
Yes, and they actually have images of a giant blue dog next to Anson Mount, the guy that playing Black Bolt.
Oh, okay.
On like the filming pictures.
Oh, okay.
And they're using him as kind of like the placement so that they know where to put their hands and stuff. And this dog is like
huge,
taller than me.
Well, dude, Lockjaw is massive. Yeah. He's like 5 feet tall.
Yeah.
He's
2 tons. He's the guard dog of the Royal Palace.
Mm-hmm. So, he's the fucking shit.
I'm very, very excited for this because it's coming this September.
Yeah, it's soon.
So the Inhumans movie that was supposed to be 2019 is now like a reality now, and I'm very excited
it's just
for
getting
it.
churned out a lot
because
more.
I do want to see how much it's going to connect to the rest of the cinematic universe, and if this does have anything to do with Thanos.
I also just really hope it's good on its own. Like,
I think it will be.
I want it to be really good as a standalone.
I think it will be. The guy, Anson Mount, the guy that's playing Black Bolt, I did see some of Hell on Wheels. I think he's going to do a great job at being a character that can't speak.
Yes.
Because for people that don't know, Black Bolt, when he talks, basically has a voice that could destroy cities.
Yes.
And you have to portray a character without being able to speak.
Yes.
And I think that this guy is going to do a fantastic job based off of his performance on Hell on Wheels.
Yeah, I think it's going to be good.
I'm very, very
excited. And it's ironic because it's like it's such an important character, but who doesn't speak at all. But I think it's because of that.
Yes.
I think it's the weight of, what's going on there with it.
There's also the rumor forever that Vin Diesel was also Black Bolt.
Yeah, oh my god.
I could have seen that, though, based off his performance as Riddick. In that costume, he has the build for it.
Yeah.
And we won't be able to recognize his voice from Groot because he doesn't talk.
Yeah.
So I would have liked to have seen that, but what are you going to do?
Yeah. And plus he was CG'd as Groot, so it's not even like he could show up.
Right.
And it's not like he's showing up twice, really.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Yeah, they could get away with that.
But yeah, that's pretty much all we have for you guys today.
Yeah, that's
that was long though. It was pretty long.
Yeah. We knew that.
Yes. Yeah, we prepared.
We were mentally ready.
If you guys want to hear about anything next time, please let us know in the comments.
Anything that we breezed over, or anything that we didn't bring up at all,
or corrections.
Yeah,
bring those up as well.
Yes. Any type of critique we would love.
Yep. Next week we'll be doing the overtime episode for Mass Effect, which will be pretty cool. As well as the regular scheduled podcast.
Yep.
Which will be again a day later. But that's okay. There's a lot of stuff going on in the gaming world, so we want to make sure that we are prepared to give you guys the best news and our reactions.
Yes, exactly. I was about to say, if we are ever a day late, it's 99% of the time it is,
like we were a day late this time. Actually, we were a couple days late this time, but that's because we wanted more time with the Switch, more time with Zelda. We had to give you guys accurate information.
Yes, I definitely want. And yet again, though, I'm glad, because there was even a lot of announcements today.
Yes.
For just stuff in general, so it's like, I am kind of glad that we waited. It did work.
Yeah. The other thing too, tomorrow night or today, if you're listening on Friday, March 10th, we will be doing a live stream at 9:30 for Marvel vs. Capcom and Wildlands. 9:30, 10ish.
Yes. And also what's great though too is for anybody listening to, like, all of our podcasts and stuff like that. If we are ever delayed on at least that aspect, we're definitely, if anything, going to tune up live streams.
Yes.
So the content is definitely, if anything, going to be more in full swing in one direction or another, or both.
Yep.
So just to put everybody at ease, this is, even worst case scenario if we have a bad week. That does not mean we're slowing down by any stretch of the imagination.
Yes.
If anything, that's a wind up for doing a home run.
Also,
next
cool
week.
things. Video podcast might be coming soon.
Very soon.
We are working on trying to figure that out with upload times and internet and storage and stuff like that. As soon as we get all that squared away, I'm also trying to figure out if we can record the audio while recording the video so that people that don't want to watch it can hear it too.
Yes.
We're trying to figure out all the little.
We're trying to work out the kinks.
Yeah.
Hopefully, and we'll keep everybody updated on the Facebook page.
Yes.
So if you do want to know updates on what's happening with stuff like that, just be checking on the Facebook page.
Also, that being said, I did see a couple new people liked the Facebook page.
Yes.
So if you haven't listened to any of the podcasts and you want to go back, they are all available on YouTube.
Yes.
You can listen to every single one from the beginning.
Also to our first Twitch stream. You can go back on Twitch. You can double check that out. That was a fucking full tilt blast.
Yes.
Today or tomorrow will be
a lot better.
A lot better.
We'll be a little more relaxed.
Well, there's no competitive.
Yes.
It's you and me. I'm not going to go on full tilt on you.
And some guests.
Yes.
As well as the overtime episode also having a guest.
Yes.
In the form of Mr. Ian Buziak.
Yes.
So he will be here. Or Buzak. If you want to say it with the Polish accent, it's Buzak. But Ian will be here. Ian is a Mass Effect fanatic.
Yep.
So we
like
are
ourselves.
Yes. We are very excited to have him on the show.
That'll be very good.
Yeah.
Yes. So I think that's it, everybody. So so let's wrap it up for the day. And we will see you all next time.
Yeah.
And hail Satan.
No.
Listen, Jeremy, all I'm saying is let's just recap for 5 milliseconds here. Daredevil, worship the devil. It's episode 6. We're just saying. Yeah.
I don't worship the devil.
Hashtag conspiracy theory.
No, I don't worship the devil.
There we go. Yeah,
Nope, don't do it.
Conspiracy.
No. Much love.
Do.